let's get started.
Stream is started. We need to go fucking
Oh,
rat.
go Power Rangers.
Thank you very much, Zero.
Yep.
I wonder if anyone's gonna comment on. Anyone in chat can comment on the bullshit that's funny that Zero easily convinced me of doing.
What?
Changing my icon.
Oh. That.
It didn't really take that much convincing in all honesty.
Zero just said it, and I just like, yes.
Yes. I think the only comment I gave was after you started laughing about it. I went, "Yeah, that's about the
That's
kind
how
of
you
laugh
laugh.
that man would make."
Okay, I don't care. I will at 55 people. Fuck you.
Oh, 55 has gone up.
Fuck you and the horse you rode in on.
Yeah, right.
Ugh, the fancy man wants to talk to me.
You'll live.
I'll live. Doesn't mean I have to like it.
He's done talking with the charismatic people. He's now gonna go talk to the gremlin in engineering.
Look, you don't understand. I have a -2 to diplomacy.
Exactly.
I'm quite literally the worst person to talk to.
Don't worry, he has enough charisma for both of you.
That is untrue. I am so
No,
uncharismatic,
No, I
I'm siphoning your charisma away.
I think if you split the difference, you'd both end up with a +1.
That's not good.
So average.
Anyway, someone cue me up.
Do the thing.
Hey, Hatter, what
you,
happened
Smarty.
last time?
You're welcome.
Yes. So, last time, everything was going fine. Until suddenly it wasn't. And you were attacked by a swarm of spark bats. An elemental who is known for devouring electricity. And they started to drain your ship's power supply radically. I think you will now be able to get to the planet with 11% of your power remaining, when originally it was 49.
Look,
They had a field day. And I could have played that way more of an asshole than I did.
we fought for... I had a 1v1 versus a bat. I had the
You did.
world's most lame 1v1.
An elemental bat was put into a clay pot. It's very smartly done, by the way. That was very clever. I gave you a hero point for that because that shit was smart.
We then put the monkey in the clay pot with it until the bat was dead.
But during that time, one of the ivory beds, one of the cryo machines, was damaged beyond function at the moment. It's possible it could be repaired, but that would take time and effort and energy. It just so happened to be Anthony Vanderbilt, because of course it is. And he is, serendipitously, the next person in charge of the ship. And upon waking up, he was delivered some information and basically understood that, though he's technically the next person in charge, y'all have a dynamic already, and he doesn't want to step on your toes.
Raktar,
So
did
he's
you
just
post
kind
an
of-
entire movie in chat?
I think he did. Raktai does random shit. Did he post
Okay.
the entirety of the B movie?
No, he posted the entirety of an Ultraman movie. Ultraman Zero.
I think he's calling you Ultraman.
Thanks? Question mark?
I don't know.
Question mark?
Raktai just says yes. Also, hi, Blue Star. Welcome. But yes, so with that, and some, questioning discussion with Vanderbilt, he was cordial the whole time. He has decided to go talk with a few people. So before we cut to that, does anyone else want to do anything?
This isn't a chord.
Sorry, what?
What?
Use cordial.
Cordial.
Yeah, this isn't a cord.
Shut up, Ellen. Cordial. Yeah.
I don't get it.
Just. I don't either, but she was making a pun on cord and cordial.
Yeah.
And that enough is grown worthy.
Yes. I'm gonna switch this over to the thing.
Yeah.
We're on
So,
the foundry now.
anyone want to do anything? Anyone else want to do anything before the, as the title implies, oh no, he wants to talk to me?
No.
No?
No.
Speaking of, hold your peace.
I'm good with this oncoming chaos that's about to happen. It's not my problem. That way I don't have to care.
I mean, he is one of my investigations.
I mean, here's the thing, Smarty. It's not your problem, but if he pisses off the monkey enough to stab him, then you lose your only
If he
bad
pisses off the monkey, then it's my problem.
The monkey begins to raise his hand and Percival appears out of thin air.
It just pushes his hand back down.
No.
Get a new guy in here. There we go.
Indeed. So, I don't have a theme for Anthony Vanderwood. I will eventually, but he comes. Strolling is a good word, but not entirely. He's looking around the storage area. He's clearly like taking mental note of the things that he has and doesn't have. But
And then he sees this.
He doesn't have
yeah,
shit.
and then he sees that, and clearly he's still looking at all the supplies and shit. But he's like definitely like, the fuck is this? And he's like looking at this ship as he like comes around. He's looking at everything. He's looking at this like this pile over here and these pipes. He's looking at this ship. Act diet. Fuck you. And he doesn't even see you at first. To be honest, he's just kind of like walking around. You can
We're
hear
in
him.
space. If that happened, we would just be in space.
He's like walking around. You can hear him. He doesn't see you. If you like, you know, like lean up and over to like kind of see down, you could probably see him.
I can see him.
Yeah, you can see him. All right. He's like, you can hear him a little bit. He comes into the ship. He's not on top of it. He's in it. I know you're on top.
Honey looks
That's
through the
looking
hole
around.
here.
Yeah. I'm gonna roll something.
You're gonna roll something, I'm gonna roll something.
Stealth. Oh, fuck me. Alright,
Hanu in the shadows above, just staring down into the hole. A pair of red eyes in the darkness.
yeah, and you rolled good too, so I don't know if he's gonna be able to beat that, but he can.
I also think it goes
try.
against Perception DC,
Oh, Perception DC, right.
which is...
No, you beat him.
I think it's like... His is like 22 though, so like it was a close call.
Yes. Thank you for saying that. Yep. Okay, so he's like looking around. He clearly is like, you know, looking at the two captains, the two pilot seats, and like looking at the magical interface that would run the ship. I imagine you kind of like stripped it, or have you not stripped it?
I mean, we've removed the wolf, and
Yeah.
I think we've left the like control panel untouched because we want to look into how it works.
Okay.
Because if we take it apart, then we can't figure it out. We can't just put the battery
Yeah.
back in.
Yeah, the ship doesn't really have power either, so he's just kind of like looking around. He's kind of like runs his hands over the slates with the runes carved into it. He's clearly like taking this in. You don't know if he is understanding of what all of this is, but he's definitely like taking a look at it. He turns around, kind of begins exploring the rest of the ship. He looks at the cages with the kind of a worried look.
Hanu considers. Hanu considers deeply.
You actually see him take a close look at the locks. And then he moves on.
Hanu continues to spider his way along the top of the ship, looking in through holes and cracks he knows of.
Mm-hmm. Anthony continues to look. He kind of finds the section where you have the where the cabinets are kind of small storage and the religious altar that's on the ship, and he kind of finds that. Kind of looks around at it. Again, touches one of the balance, one of the scales. Kind of moves away. It's like looking around. He definitely seems to be looking for someone, but he's also taking everything in. Eventually, he kind of leaves the ship.
Hanu returns to his perch.
Is Eshe? Where is Eshe?
I think Eshe
That's a great
was
question.
in there looking at the skull, the horn, the
Bones.
tusks.
Yeah. So I see the token. Is that why Eshe's not in there, right?
Eshe is currently in the stairwell.
Okay.
Ellen is
At least
stepping
that's
away.
where she is on the top map.
Alright, Vanda, I imagine this door's open, so Vanda would just kind of walk in.
He'd probably see over, in this area, a half-built motorcycle.
Oh, yeah, he's gonna look at the bones for a little bit, then he's gonna definitely come over here.
Scamper, 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 scamper.
And he, clearly, crouches down and actually, looks at it. He puts his hand on it and he's kind of, seeing all the gears and the wind-up stuff. Because, this is that's how
It's a clockwork
it runs.
machine.
Yeah, it's a clockwork. You wind it up and eventually keep going. So he's looking at all the intricate design. And he's has his fingers. He has his hand in there. He's running his fingers along the gearwork and following their path and seeing where they're going. He's definitely interested in this. This seems to have piqued his interest quite significantly, and he's actually gonna spend a decent amount of time just standing there and not investigating. Investigating sounds like he's an investigator, but
Does he want to roll crafting to understand it? I look at him. I look at him from the distance. Hanu's hiding behind this little U shape.
Incredible.
He's just has his hands on the top and he's staring. He pulls his goggles down and makes them zoom in on the man.
I don't know if he has a. Hold on. Does he have? Is he skilled in crafting?
The dive is for vision.
Sorry, what?
Dive is popping her head out for vision's sake.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
I assume that Nina's also, or is Nina just stalking him? Ellen stepped away,
yeah.
so I don't know. Ellen's gone. I don't know what that is. Anyway. Look, I considered when he was in the ship to throw him in a cage.
Why?
No, that makes perfect sense.
I gestured at Eli. He gets me.
Just in case you need to throw a bitch out the ship.
I didn't mean that, but I'll keep that in mind.
He clearly is this may be a little beyond him, but he's not entirely lost.
Oh yeah, I think the DC of crafting the motorcycle was 18.
Yeah. So this is a little beyond this role. but it's not. It's clearly that he has some level of intelligence with this, and is like, he's kind of like, okay, this goes here and this does that, and oh, okay. And he's almost like muttering to himself about like the, oh yes, and he's like very very much intrigued by your partial design. Do you have any tools over here?
He has like a toolbox set next to it, because let me go look at my character sheet real quick. I'm not done with the motorcycle. Currently, I'm like a little bit through. It's not real. I've got like the skeleton. I have worked off exactly 6 gold. It is not a fast process.
Yeah, no. So he's like investigating it, looking it over. This goes on for about 5 to 10 minutes. Are you still just
Hanu will begin to scale down the side of the ship like a fucked up spider.
Yeah.
Because climbing is a thing he's good at.
Yeah.
And at this point, I don't know if I'm capable of hiding in the middle of, plain view.
Fair enough. Are you trying to hide?
Hanu, how do you feel right now, boy? That doesn't tell me fucking anything. Try again. Fine, he'll stop hiding.
It takes a moment or so, but Vander would eventually like sees you and goes, "Ah, hello, Hanu, yes."
That would be me, yes. How can I help you?
Well, I would have said that. The question would be whether or not how can I help you? But to be honest, like, he looks at the motorcycle. Is this your design?
Yes, it is mine.
Fascinating work.
He continues just kind of staring at him.
He seems undeterred, and he's like looking it over again. And he goes, would you need assistance with working on this? This seems incredibly fascinating."
In and of itself, the motorcycle is... I can't say in working order, that's not true. However, it is in a state in which all it needs is work. It just requires time at this point.
No, I mean, I would love to lend my hand if you would so allow.
Hanu squints. I get a -1 to this roll. I don't know what this man's thinking.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to read.
I am emotionally unaware.
High intelligence, low wisdom.
No, my wisdom's... Yeah, my wisdom's low. I'm also an android, so my wisdom is also not great.
So, he says, apology. He looks at you and gives a sigh, and his little shoulders kind of slump a little bit and goes, "Look, I'm sorry. I'm clearly stepping on some toes. Y'all have a dynamic that, I don't fit into at the moment. Obviously, I'm just trying to find where I could work and assist on this ship, where I fit into this dynamic. You understand? I may have been a man of wealth back then, but I was not a man of idle. I was not an idle man."
What skills do you possess?
Well, I have a general understanding of numbers and mathematics, kind of necessary when you run a trade. I know a good idea when I see one. He looks at the motorcycle. I'm also good at determining where help is needed and who can provide that help. I have some minor skills and in enough skills in alchemy and clockwork and things of that nature, and to not be lost when holding a discussion.
Well, from what I have observed, your skills may not be up to snuff for my motorcycle, or for my vehicle.
It is, it is quite a work of art.
His face continues to be... It's worth noting, like, Hanu's facial structure is kind of weird. If you were to look at his, like, mouth, you see how, like, the tufts of his fur connect to the edges of his lips?
Mm-hmm.
That is because that is literally, like, he's built like a mannequin. His mouth doesn't move, like, there's some uncanny valley to it. His eyes don't blink. It's almost solid. There's some movement, but it's mainly just kind of placid. And he currently has his goggles, both lenses of his goggles pulled down. When you joined this ship 100 years ago, what did you think you were going to do?
Out of character, do you say 100 with the intention of deceiving him, or
was it 100? Was it 1,000? Did I miss?
It's almost been 1,000.
Okay, he says 1,000. I'm wrong. I forgot a zero at the end of it. Correct me to
you.
1,000.
Yeah. So,
sorry, had I just saw that thing and was about to shoot it.
Don't worry, I did it. Yeah, don't worry, I got it. You clearly, like, he, like, looks around for a moment and very quickly decides not to sit on your motorcycle.
Wise?
Why, yes. He comes over here and sits down.
Hanu's head turns before his body does.
To be entirely frank, my positioning on the ship was certainly more of getting everyone out, certainly. And my warehouses may have supplied many of the ships with materials, but I am mostly a people's person. I'm a deals maker, getting things that people need to other locations, which is incredibly important when trying to build a civilization, and especially if it's on a planet that is already inhabited.
The likelihood of an inhabited planet is something that should be assumed from the get-go.
Exactly. So, Paul's choice was simple.
Like that.
Many, I would probably say half the people in there, he nods towards the cryo bay, don't have a understood function for building society. We want building ships to rebuild. We were building ships to escape, with the intent of rebuilding later. So getting everyone out was the first part.
I must ask then.
Yes.
Was it you who decided to put yourself above someone such as a chief medical officer?
No?
Eyebrow goes up.
You can roll if you want.
I mean, I will. I'm not gonna win.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's not gonna work. But I'll do it. I saw that 20.
Yeah, you don't think so. You don't think he's lying.
Hey,
Oh, you
Ellen,
can't
would
tell
you
he's
like
lying
the
if he's
secret
lying.
Nina sense motive?
Is Nina here?
I see a Nina who's undiscovered.
Yeah,
Is she? Who knows?
Do you want to make a roll, Ellen?
Are you here?
I don't know. Am
You
I
get
here?
a pursue a lead bonus if you do.
I don't know, Alan. Are you here?
Oh, okay. That's. I appreciate the question. You know what? Okay, why not?
Yeah, you get pursue a lead, and you don't get the -1 that Mooney and I do.
There we go.
Oh, it's a secret perception. My bad.
You don't think he's lying?
Hmm.
In fact, you feel like he doesn't want to be in charge.
But did he select people who wanted him to be in charge?
You would have to ask him that. You
Yeah, that
you
I
can't
feel
just
like,
ask
yeah.
that. You have to be in the
So,
conversation.
Yeah, I was thinking. If you had a critical success, I might give you something along those lines.
Just you
Well,
wait. I'm gonna get acknowledge the selection process of this ship.
A thing you can get.
But no, I did not request that. That was something that was done partially without my knowledge.
How many times did you interact with Captain Angel and looks at my notes? Looks at my notes.
Looks at smudges on hand.
Haldir, Chief Engineer Haldir.
I interacted with the captain once or twice, which certainly makes the name of your looks up at the ceiling, your compatriot a little alarming.
You are being targeted.
But only a few times, never enough to actually get to know her. She was quite busy. The captain didn't stay in the bunker all that frequently. She was certainly one of the ones that was fighting to ensure we would have enough time. So, the head engineer, though, young man, he was so bright. He was more than excited for the. I'm blinking on the wood, not him. For the position. And
I was about to suggest expedition.
position probably is more like it. Also, Hanu, you've definitely noticed his voice has changed a little. He doesn't have the like, yes, hello. I spoke a little with him. He had bright ideas. One that he talked about was an idea he had once of simulations. And I thought it was a brilliant idea if he can make it work. And I was willing to help him try and do that, but we weren't quite in a position I could lend a lot of.
The simulations were adequate.
What'd you say?
Adequate.
No. What was the full sentence you said? Out of
The
character?
simulations were pause. Adequate. To my
You know, actually, it did come up my thought of that simulations possibly making self-aware AIs, but he assured me it wasn't possible. That's not how it would work.
It isn't. I've looked into it myself. I looked through his notes. Even if you were to leave the AI development system running for as long as the ship has been running, you would not get something to our level.
Huh. Have you figured out why then?
No, not
He's
truly.
just genuinely confused and is thinking, huh.
I am aware of why we, as a group, are as we are. While I don't believe it was possible for the chief engineer Haldir to set up the simulation within the ivory beds, he had established it with test subjects. Or at least AI. He had written a paragraph per individual, or somebody did. And we were run through an expedition where we were on a boat to an island to fight the cult of a god named God-spacing God?
Spava.
Spava. Only for the simulation to break somewhere, and for us to deal with, he puts up air quotes, Spava himself. As I said, not perfect, but adequate.
That's distressing. But, I suppose, thank the gods, because without you, we would still be floating in the void.
This is true. There's also the fact that as a system, or as a non-organic life form, all of us are particularly wrong. You heard Eshe mention the term Duskwalker.
Yes, I did. That seemed particularly odd.
It is. If we are what we should be, that is impossible. However, she is beyond certain that she is. However, as much as I would like to disbelieve and disprove her, there's evidence to the contrary. You have met my sister, medical droid?
Yes. Nina, yes.
Mm-hmm. He nods. She is growing organic material. Scales. Feathers. This should be impossible.
That should be impossible. You said all of you. What, if I may ask, about you?
I had a vision recently about being in the plains of hell, fighting demons. Not as some noble champion, but as a devil. As well, I feel a general lust for battle whenever it is to come up.
That seems
unnecessary for a repair droid.
Yes.
As well as out of character for my initial role as Hanu Monet, the monkeykin. There's a word for it, but I don't know it right now.
The monkey, the race of monkey people?
Vanara.
Vanara, yeah.
The Vanara.
That seems You have a genuine mystery on your hands.
We do, yes. I must clarify. Us not waking you up was some parts paranoia, some parts practicality. For the past few months, we would not have been able to sustain another living being that consumed organic material. So far,
Puts a hand
only
up.
the two of the four of us need it.
I understand. No, it practically speaking is entirely the right choice. And paranoia speaking, no, that's fair too, I suppose. You never know what any of us would do, to be honest. Our profiles really wouldn't say, would they?
Yes. As well as us having to develop our personhood as we have been going, as well as discovering the corpses of the two past leading.
Yeah, that'll bring some bad memories, I suppose. Yes, no, it's entirely understandable. Yes.
My personal belief is that my role is rather simple. My job is to repair and pilot the ship. I will make sure we get to where we're going, and make sure that wherever we're done is established properly. Anything beyond that is too far in the future to worry about.
Well, if you're in charge of that situation, then clearly we'll make it. I'm sorry. That's just he like pinches the bridge of his nose. Words. You must forgive me. If I don't stay busy, I start remembering the war. I never fought in it. I didn't fight in it myself. I'm not a combatant, but I remember a lot of the things that were happening there. Well, if I can't assist you, would you suggest someone else that I can assist?
Find Percival. He has been
Percival.
wanting for companionship. His default programming is that of I would say, guardian drone. He's meant to keep people. He is meant to personalize with individuals as well as keep them safe. He has also been our quartermaster, keeping track of what we need and what we have. If there's anyone who will know what is good for you to do, it would be him.
What oddity does he have?
We are unaware. I have some thoughts, considering we had encountered some solar dragons? God?
Yes, solar dragons.
We'd encountered some solar dragons, and he appeared to speak Draconic. I am unsure if that is related or not. I have no idea. I can tell you, for our final member, she is cursed. She is drawn towards the vacuum, as well as her programming seems to be about as bugged as my own.
That is quite unfortunate. Again, I would like to help in some way, but it's also very clear that I'm not entirely welcome here. I haven't done anything to upset people, have I?
No. It is a rather simple reasoning. You have done nothing to upset anyone, to my understanding. However, we are a crew of most strong personality. I will simply tell you how it is. My sister is a paranoid sort. In the simulation, she was somewhat of a detective. She doesn't trust easy, and she likes to get to the bottom of things. The other... Dive is hesitant around other individuals. The simulation was crueler to her than to most. Those two have a work curve. It will take time for them to trust you. I do not believe Eshe and Percival will care much at all. And I simply don't care. I have a job to do, and talking to people is not that job.
I'm out of focus.
If you wish to speak with me, I will speak with you. Do not expect me to seek you out unless I am pondering the realm of existence, and if you have potentially caused the death of some or so. I don't think you have. My brain can wander sometimes.
I don't think I have. I feel as if I've gotten off on the wrong foot with Dive. Any...
Take it slow. She is a kind individual, and she is sentimental. She finds personhood in things that lack it. However, people with it can be hard to trust. My best assumption is do not be cruel to our onboard AI, and she will find respect for you. Treat them like a person. That is the quickest way to make her trust with you grow, if slowly. Don't treat anybody here as a robot and not a person.
Oh, I had no intention of. Alright, well, thank you.
Do not be surprised if you were being spied on, by the way. I know I
you
was
mean
earlier.
without looking around? Right, yes.
Amazing.
I stare at where I know Ellen is. Anyway, I have work to get back to.
Of course.
Hanu is a very blunt individual. He will simply tell you how it is.
If you need any help, I'll... okay.
I can still hear you.
Amazing.
Clearly I'm not as good as you, but if you ever need assistance...
I'll keep it in mind. We're slightly more skilled than our shadowed individual.
Wait, sorry, what?
Hanu's gone.
And he's gone.
Eshe did mention them having a stowaway, or not a stowaway. I think she...
We had an additional crew member that was rather shadowy.
She didn't get into details about the shadow, but she said that we picked up a... I forget her exact wording, and I can't think of the exact word I wanted to say, but a castaway, I think, is close.
Yeah,
Also-
I don't think we specified anything about Hasta other than they were called Hasta.
Yeah. Also, Eli, to mention what you said in chat, you and Hanu had a talk about you being a Duskwalker, and he blew up at you that, no, you're not, Eshe Sunsblood never existed. In which you went, fair, let's do a funeral. And
Yeah,
you
but
broke him
I
for
meant-
a minute.
I meant, I don't think she ever mentioned it in front of him.
You might not have. Hanu doesn't care.
Hannah, can
That's
you tell me
fair.
which pod it is?
I think
Is it
that
that
one.
one?
Yeah, I think it's that one.
Okay.
It's either that one or the one directly above it.
Okay. I think it's this one.
God damn, I love all your characters.
Thank you.
I believe it is that one. I have. It's either the one of those two because I remember. I think it is
Yeah,
this
it was one of these two.
Yeah, I remember having the 1v1 with the bat.
Yeah. So you're working on the cryo machine?
Yeah. Since Thanos is not doing it.
I have other
Alright.
things to work on. I think.
Make me a crafting check.
Yeah.
Do I have anything to work on? We finished the drop
No,
pod
you
in the
don't.
translator.
I have other things to pretend to work on.
I'm working on the motorcycle. Hani was just kind of looking at what he had.
Huh?
I'm going to open the door and move Hanu for camera vision. Hanu is not here. He is here so that when I step away for a minute, people can look at Nina.
Alright. You're working on it.
Yeah. I'm working on it.
Vanderwood will... Fuck. Who, anyone want to do anything?
Oh, he doesn't
I
want
don't
to
think...
talk with me? That's okay.
I know Eshe is physically here, but I don't think she's doing anything specific. I think that she's just been patrolling like she usually does, so
Okay.
nothing is specific. She will probably seek him out for a conversation at some point, but I don't feel like it's one we'd need to play off on screen.
Okay.
I mean, man, would want to talk to Dive, didn't he? Or is that not, like, now?
Yeah, but he's clearly gotten off on the wrong foot with you, and he's not.
He's
sure
been
how to
told by
approach
like
that-
3 people now that if you want to talk to Dive, ease in.
Yeah, it's not.
Dive is
Why?
the hard character to unlock in the dating sim. The one where you have to finish
Yeah.
all other endings first before you unlock.
Dive is the character that you need the fucking strategy guide today.
Shockingly,
Dive
despite
is, like,
being...
the best friend character who, like, everyone wants to be, like, the dating sim with, but
Monica?
isn't... Yeah, basically. But it's like the best friend character who is accessible, but like you gotta jump through some massive hoops to do.
Dive is Vera.
And the massive hoops
Like
are
that.
Nina.
I don't think that reference really hits, but you know.
Hanu isn't.
Yeah, for right now.
Hanu isn't a date option. He's the fight option. His route ends with you two bloodied and punching each other.
Oh, so he's
Shocking.
Damien.
Shockingly, despite her being demisexual, I think that, Eshe would probably be the easiest.
What's funny is Hanu isn't Ace or a Arrow. He is bi with leaning towards guys.
He'll just fight you anyway.
Hanu's an asshole. He's a very blunt asshole.
Fuck you, fight me.
Dive is very, very pan. She just likes people.
Yeah.
She has,
Nina's Nina-
there's only one other character I feel this way about, so I don't know why my instinct is to say this, but she has pansexual hair.
Oh my god, she does!
But I'm sorry, I cut you off, Ellen.
Nina's a massive hoop you gotta jump through.
Hmm?
I also apologize if anything Hanu said about any of y'all's characters was wrong. He has
No,
opinions.
that's entirely fine.
Mm-hmm. I didn't hear any
No,
mistakes with
you can-
regards to Eshe. My
It's
only
Hanu
confusion...
being Hanu.
I was gone for a little bit.
My only confusion was with the Duskwalker thing being mentioned, and I think that's just because I got backwards who mentioned it first.
Oh, Hanu was. I don't know if you mentioned it to him, and I don't think he cares. He simply said, "Yeah, Eshe believes she's a Duskwalker," and I believe she believes that.
The way he said it, I think, was, Eshe Duskwalker thing or something along those lines.
He could also be making an ass out of you and me.
That is possible.
And Ellen, what he said about Nina was simply, she's paranoid, and it will take time for her to trust you. She will likely stalk you.
A lot.
Stalk.
Hanu said that staring at you outside the door.
Oh no. She wouldn't.
He was staring at you?
Yeah,
She wouldn't, as she is standing outside the door.
No, he was very... He was pretty, like, to the point about everybody. He was like, Nina is not one to trust easy. She wants to know everything about everything. If she doesn't know it, that's untrustworthy. He also
Eshe
didn't want to
impressive.
mention that she doesn't like you because you're rich. He was like,
Yeah, also
that one's right, but feels unnecessary.
Yeah.
Eshe and Percival are at easy mode because they're extroverted.
Mm.
Bluetooth cancelled.
What the fuck?
Thanks, Angel.
I need to turn off my speaker. I thought it was off.
You're welcome.
Angel played Despacito.
Starts playing the fantasy version of Despacito.
Hell yeah, Angel's a bard.
Would the fantasy version of Despacito be Desperado?
That's good. That's a funny one.
Possible.
Yeah, that's good.
First of all, fuck you. Second of all, good job.
Yeah.
First of all, go fuck yourself. Second of all, good job.
Fuck me yourself, you coward.
No.
Oh, there it goes. All right.
Is
so in
Hanu
that
gonna
case-
help me?
No, I was standing here so that when I walked away, the camera could see you.
Okay.
That being said,
Do you
what
want help?
is?
Yeah.
Come help.
Percival is upstairs. He's up on the main deck.
I'm so fucking good at my job.
Oh, yes.
Ah.
Yeah.
27 to fix the cryopod so we can put the rich man back to sleep. No.
Yeah.
You're working on it. It's slowly getting there. It'll take some time. Considering no one said they're spending money to fix this. It'll take time.
Mhm.
That's fair. Look, I want money to save for my motorcycle.
No, totally understandable.
Reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
And I've already stolen money from the coffers.
Actually, money can't buy food.
Correct.
It's also not money, it's materials.
Yeah, we're spending materials to fix. Materials can't buy food.
Yeah.
Yes.
How much would it cost to fix this?
4 days and something.
Let's say 100 gold.
Cool, we can't do that.
I'll put it on the list.
Put it on the list that we're working on it. We have 25.
If you
So
want to work on your motorcycle, you can do.
don't worry about it. We're
Dive and I
on
can
the
walk on the
others.
ball.
Hi Dive, are you actually here?
No,
Okay.
I don't
Okay.
know where Dive is, and neither do you.
She's in the walls!
Now that's my job. She's probably talking to Angel.
No. I don't know where she
Not.
is.
Dive could be anywhere.
Dive gets in the walls, Hanu kicks her out.
Dive is floating away.
They'll never find me in the walls. What are you doing in my spot?
Also, I liked. I think that Dive isn't actually like cursed. She is just bugging out completely. Like
He's just
cursed
glitching
is-
hard.
Yeah, she was. There is something wrong with her AI and her hardware and her software that is just completely fucked. In the simulation, she was cursed.
Hanu mentioned that. He's like, her stuff is as broken as mine. He is just equivalating cursed because he was also cursed in the simulation.
Mhm.
He just goes, cursed equals broken.
You always still cursed.
Shit's complicated.
Alright, is there anything anyone wants to do?
I don't believe so. Just to note that when we time skip, Eshe will have conversations with him at regular intervals and just be her usual chill self. very clearly pleased to have someone new to talk to.
Abso-fucking-lutely.
Yeah, Esha and Percival will both be very talkative, I imagine.
I told you.
Alright.
I know what I'm talking about.
So
Yes,
before
you
the
do.
next scene with Vanderwood. Vanderwood. Called him Vanderbilt earlier. Vanderwood.
Vanderbilt.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't...
popular series found that's a phrase.
Ah, yes, van, the popular type of car.
Just not seeing someone in a rabbit suit.
Ah!
This isn't why I wanted to do this scene, but I don't feel like having two Vanderwood scenes right back to back with each other. So instead...
Good luck, Eshe.
How did you know?
You mentioned you were gonna fuck with Eshe, but Eli was missing that session, so you fucked with
Yeah,
Hanin
but-
instead. And it's been like 2 sessions since, so it makes sense.
You... Eshe. You...
Oh dear.
Start...
You!
You start... As you're patrolling a halls, the long white metallic of the halls begins to blur and merge together into just a white void. Your breath is heavy, even though you don't need to breathe like a person. Your breath is heavy. You can feel your heart beating in your chest like you've been running for God knows how long. And there is a palpable feeling of fear running through you. Your muscles ache. You've been running for a long time and you're not sure from what, but you can feel the fear. You are terrified. And as you continue to run, the white void begins to get black, almost angular lines along it. Not like a grid, almost like right angled glass cracks in this white, and they start to quickly merge together. They're not moving for your to getting to them, and they eventually merge into a black landscape of trees. The white void replaced with stars and the night sky. You're panting again. This is familiar to you. You don't know why, but it's familiar to you. And the fact that it's familiar to you terrifies you. You keep running. You look back and you can see the white void behind you. The space where you came from. And the further you run, the further away it disappears, almost as if you're rotating it's rotating away as if you're on a giant sphere. And you're running and running and running, and you see a light ahead of you. And you can see, kind of, between the trees, a building of some kind. You can't really make it out. Recognize it again and again. Not only the feeling of fear, but the feeling of not desperation, but
Despair.
despair. and this light that's on appears to be a lantern hanging next to the door. And it casts a pale yellow light across the front of this building, this almost porch-like structure, and a door with this glass pane set in the middle of it. Fancy, it's beautiful. If it didn't terrify you. The door, you're still like 100+ feet, 200+ feet away from it in the woods. And the door, you can hear it begins to open, and even from this distance, with no other noise, you can hear it. And a long, spindly fingered hand from the darkness of that doorway touches onto the door frame. You turn and run. You know what it is. There's no name. You know what it is. And as you turn to run and continue running, you trip, smashing your face onto the ground. It's dirt, but it's got a hardness to it that makes it almost feel unnatural. And you lay there in pain for a moment before something grabs your ankle and pulls you towards the house again. There's a brief scream, and cuts off. And suddenly you're back in the hall.
Is she still standing?
Yes.
Eshe does not make a sound,
Sorry.
but... Oh,
The scream, I didn't do a good thing of it, but it
it's
was
okay.
high-pitched, blood-curdling, and it sounded like a child's.
I hadn't considered that possibility. Eshe, says, Angel, please alert the others that, I will be taking a break from my patrols for the moment. I'll be in the robot bay.
Understood. You're all made aware of this.
On
Lifts
the
himself up, takes over the patrols.
if she passes Percival on the way, she will nod to him appreciatively.
I'm
And
gonna head to the robot bay.
if you do, you find Eshe in her pod, just sitting there. And she's not looking out into anywhere specific, but it's clear that she's not all here right now.
Hey.
She jumps slightly, but then... Hello,
Do you
Nina.
mind moving us to that place on the map?
Yeah, sorry.
Yes,
I totally.
I was wondering
totally,
about that.
I was like working on something else and I totally missed it.
It's alright, honey.
I was literally just thinking, I was like, hey, maybe we should look at the map real quick.
Okay. To the droid bay. Have fun on your walk, Eli. Can't go through walls.
Hold on.
God damn it.
I can drag you. Don't move.
Thank you.
There you go.
And I don't need to move. I have vision on almost everybody.
I appreciate it. Eshe, she is... Whatever it was that happened to Hanu, I believe that it happened to me as well.
Oh, did you become a jerk?
Go fuck yourself!
But Hanu is always a jerk,
Ah.
albeit normally in a very different way from that.
Nah, he used to be nice. That was a long time ago.
I believe that I didn't turn into a jerk. I believe that I turned into a child.
Oh. That like that
not the
time I
same
turned
thing.
into a knight?
No. What?
Yeah, that time I turned into a knight and fought a dragon.
Ah. Out of character, I forgot that Nina had a thing too.
Yep.
Okay.
So what happened?
It was what I at least hope was a rather metaphorical experience. Parts of it mirrored my awakening as I remember it, when I was the young woman who was to become Eshe Sunsblood.
Yeah.
But that was a much calmer affair. I was in the forest when I first awakened. I was a child, as Duskwalkers are when they're reborn,
Yeah.
and the first thing I saw when I made my way through the trees was the black sky full of stars.
Ah.
The stars were above me, and the trees were around me, but I was also in a world of nothing. I don't remember precisely when the members of the Matangi and the Taralu found me, but whatever it was, whenever I encountered them, that's not what this was like. In the void, I was running as hard as I could, and I felt like my body was falling apart. I felt like I was dying, interestingly enough.
Yeah.
And then I saw a cabin of some sort with a light waiting for me and a hand reaching towards me. This
Hmm.
may be my own biased thinking about death, but I don't believe that was a vision of Pharasma, and but it could have possibly been an experience of who I was before. I always felt the pressure of my past existence, and that made me uninterested in trying to find out information about myself, especially since it had been so difficult to find.
Yeah.
I never considered that it might be possible the reason for that is because when I died, I was around the same age as when I came back to life.
Oh.
I don't know if I'm right, but the scream that I heard was like the scream of a child, and I think that it was mine.
That makes sense. Okay.
That's quite a bit to process. I'll try to tell everyone else in shorter order when we get a chance to. But
Okay.
I'd never considered the possibility that I'd already outlived my previous self.
Yeah. A lot of people die when they're young.
I suppose that's true. They're just not the sort you expect to be reincarnated.
Yeah? I don't know much about reincarnation.
Duskwalkers, generally, psychopomps don't like to lose their hold on the dead. Duskwalkers are a middle ground between those who wish for death to be a cycle and those who wish for it to be permanent. We come back once, at least in theory. And we come back because we, only 1,000 of us, or 10,000 I believe, some small number, very small, exist at a time, and we come back when we are... We come back from people who were associated with death, who handled it in a way that pleased Pharasma and her psychopomps.
Getting yoinked by the darkness might have pleased. Who knows?
I suppose I never considered that when I was an executioner, the sort of traumatic deaths I was trying to avert were my own.
I hope it's something like that and not some strange meta-narrative about how Galarian's story is ending, so there's a big darkness that comes to sweep it away or something.
Shut up! That was awesome. Shut up.
I don't know, I've read a bunch of books about that kind of thing, and...
Knock it off, Ellen.
Look, I loved it last time.
Don't make fun of the DM, he'll smite you.
I loved it last time, but...
I'll make fun of the DM.
Why would I do it again?
Yeah!
I'll make fun of the DM. What's he gonna do?
What? A darkness full
Smite
of
you.
stars that takes you away.
I'd love to see him try.
This wasn't a dark void, though. This was a null void.
Yeah.
Oh man, Ben 10. Anyway.
I will...
It takes 16 psychic damage from beyond the...
Kanu takes 16 on type damage. No. Hold on. What do you mean a null?
I understand that in the last campaign, the King of Nothing was literally an expression of the entropy of ideas.
Yes.
But he was still described very much as blackness.
Yes.
What you described to me was whiteness, specifically.
Yes. It was like a plane of existence where nothing existed.
Mm-hmm. And that's why I say, a black void feels active to me, like a presence of a void. A white void feels like an absence of anything.
Wait, were there stars?
Yes, there were stars. Eshe would explain. There were stars, and there were trees, just like when I was a child.
Oh, that's just space.
But it was also nothing.
The stars were nothing, and the trees were nothing?
Yeah, that sounds like space to me.
It was very similar to a dream.
Ah.
Where...
Maybe it was.
I can't rule that out, and I'm doing my best not to.
You know, dreams are real.
In what sense?
Well, when you dream, you go to a place
and that
Called the
place
Dreaming.
is as much.
Sandman.
It is as real as anything else that you might feel or consider. It's only your perception of realness that makes it less real. But
I'll
they
Sorry,
say
go on.
everything was created by the gods, and so was the dreams. You know?
I'll admit the ontological reality of whatever I experienced or am experiencing is something I've been deliberately putting aside, and I don't find it interesting, at least not in the sense of. I apologize, I don't know quite what I'm saying. The point is, I'm not
sorry.
saying that it wasn't real, but that the experience was like a dream.
So wait, all three of you, like you, Eshe, Eshe, Nina, and Tanu, you've all been experiencing this.
Well, it might be. A
Okay, are we having a
coincidence.
conversation now?
I'm here.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
It might
I've
be a
walked in a
coincidence.
while ago and just been standing
Okay.
there.
Might be a coincidence because, you know, Ashley has a believable explanation on Hanu's cursed, so he also has a believable explanation, and I don't.
Well, you're growing a tail. Something's clearly not adding up there.
Oh, it's adding up.
It is adding
a
to your
tail.
mass, I'll grant you that much.
As she says that, her tail slaps the floor.
Yep.
No, it's adding up. Slap, slap.
Yeah, she does have a nice house. Anyway, cute. So,
You hear in the distance. Ew!
Nobody asked you to listen to this.
it's just girls doing girl talk, you know?
Yeah. Maybe in a month, you will have a dream or whatever experience it is. And then, Percival, I will have one. I will have enough data to, you know, say that this was definitely not a coincidence.
How do you know that Percival hasn't had one already?
I believe that Percival would have told at least one of us.
Yeah, I trust him on that.
I'm not ruling out that I'm wrong there, but I believe that to be the case.
We should ask him.
I will discuss this with everybody. With the gentleman, I suppose.
But
Once.
I got something to say.
Yes, Dive.
She points at Eshe. You don't sleep. How comes you dreamt?
That is a fantastic question.
Yeah.
I don't suppose. She pauses. Angel, before I asked you to alert the others that I was taking a moment, did I pause in my patrol?
You paused for 5.73 seconds. The
Interesting.
Echo's dream felt a lot longer than.
You know,
It
I
felt
could
much
figure this
longer than
out.
that, but that's not uncommon for dreams. Or for flashbacks, I suppose, if that is what that is.
yeah.
Right, this is a decent representation of my description. If I was like too.
You know,
I don't-
I am a doctor. I could try and figure this out.
I don't know if I described it properly, but here,
It's okay, honey.
yeah.
I liked what you described it as, and it's okay if I'm going down a completely blind alley and reading too much into things right now.
Oh. I know exactly what that's from.
Percy, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, that's
Patrolling.
that's close to what I was picturing.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
And
That's definitely why I stole that imagery from.
yeah, but
Oh, what the
I
fuck?
was imagining
Why is the world
Coraline.
digitizing?
Yeah, so no, it's the opposite. The closer you get to the thing, the less digitized it becomes, the more real it looks.
What the fuck? What the fuck?
I still feel like Eshe would have generally described it the way she did. Of it being simultaneously nothing and the forest. Do you feel like that's an alright description?
You describe it however you want. I just wanted to make sure I was
Okay,
describing
that's
it
fair.
poorly.
Thank you, dear.
As long as Hatter gets off what he wanted to get off, he doesn't care how you say it.
Fair.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that it is clear. How you interpret it is one thing, but from my point, I want to make sure it's clear.
Yep. And at some point, I don't know if this is a scene I need to play out. I will happily answer like any questions Percival and Hanu have in character, but at some and also what's his face?
Antoine?
Yeah, him.
Is it Antoine?
It's Anthony.
Anthony. I hate him because his name is similar to mine.
She will she'll tell the crew about it first, and then Antony and Hastur.
Okay.
And
that's fine.
And she'll basically say, you two don't need to be present for this, but if you want to know what is going on aboard this ship, this is one of the details.
So this is clearly a thing that is happening to...
Eshe specifically wouldn't mention the other visions in the presence of Antony and Hastur unless the monkeys brought it up first.
I don't think I brought up having my vision, the one in hell.
Mm-hmm.
But also that vision's kind of weird.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, Hastur wouldn't know.
Mm-hmm. The point is, Eshe is not telling tales out of school.
Alright.
So, does anyone have, like, anything they'd want to say to Eshe, or questions or conversation bits they'd want to have? Oh, I'm sorry.
Do you have anything, Percy?
Yeah. Done his patrols and he'll probably check in, make sure that Eshe is okay.
Eshe does take a bit to emotionally recover from this, and she does make an effort to be more composed around Antony and Hastur than she does around all of you. She's not completely hiding her emotions, but she is less vulnerable. Less openly vulnerable than she is around all of you.
I'm gonna figure out what happened with science.
It's
science!
Let me like double check this. So it was sort of like part of things that you remember, but also parts that you don't.
Correct. Although there are many forests and many stars, my first awakening is a very strong memory of mine, and it has some similarities to this. I didn't pick myself off the ground, not that I can remember. I was already walking when I realized I was in a forest and that I could see the stars. But as I said, I may be reading too much into it. There are also many reasons to be walking, or in the case of the vision, running.
I'm waiting for a science roll from Nina?
Yeah, is
or should
Nina
I just
gonna
tell
try
you something?
Oh, no, I'll do medicine.
Okay, cool.
Eshe will let Nina check her over.
This is the other thing I'm investigating.
Mm-hmm.
The visions.
Oh.
The Visions is actually a really good Pursue a Lead title, because it doesn't just imply you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The visions, you know the ones.
We
They're
do.
really, you know, the ones. Pretty obvious considering how much, like, clearly there's something going on. She's physically fine. She doesn't have anything weird going on.
You
but
can
I'll
tell
give you-
that emotionally she's quite shaken.
But I am gonna ask a question here. Does anyone notice a common thing between all three of those visions?
You're somebody else.
I don't remember Ellen's very well, and I don't think I was here for most of Zero's, but I did get it relayed to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, could you like give us a quick rundown of each of them again?
So,
And I have a theory.
from the beginning, right? For the first one, Hanu found himself in the battlefield, either in hell or
Oh, we all died.
the demon's plane. In a battlefield fight as a devil fighting demons. He appeared to be a young pit fiend. Something flew over the battlefield, and he felt a sense of that is what he was fighting for. And then he got blinded by something and gutted, and he was on his knees, and a demon went onto the back of his neck with an axe. And that's where the vision ends. Nina, you had a vision where you were in a blasted heath of a place. Flying overhead, a shield strapped to your arm, barely holding on to a sword. You were clutched in the hands of some massive flying creature, and it spoke to you in a deep rumbling voice, mocked you, and then dropped you from very high up. You were already incredibly wounded. You said a prayer, you're not sure to what or who, and a beam of light struck down this dragon, and you both fell from the sky.
Yeah, it was an orca.
It was a what?
It was an orca. They like to
Orca?
play with their food like this.
Oh.
So
Through Percival, you were able to determine that it was an apocalypse dragon.
So
Yeah.
that sounds like the same scene.
It might be, but Eshe's doesn't sound like that.
So
what,
you would definitely
but
sorry.
so
words.
far all three end in us dying. But continue, Hatter.
Yeah. You have yes, the battlefield was definitely hell. Like, you can tell that. The blasted heath, you don't have a recognition of like what this place was. It might have been a different plane. It doesn't strike you as hell, but you don't know.
The main thing that lines up for me is the blinding light.
Did Eshe's end in a blinding light?
No, but none of them ended in a blinding light. But they had a
Fair.
blinding light in all of them. You were in
I-
a white, bright void.
Oh, fair enough. I didn't consider. Yeah, I guess that could be her just being in the middle of a blinding light.
And
I mean, I think Percy's the dragon / joke.
Possibly.
and the fucking words, brain, function, please. I've been struggling this whole fucking time.
Ugh.
Yes, all three memories have ended with you dying.
Mhm.
You were a
It's
different person,
interesting-
and then you died.
It's interesting the different ways that our deaths are portrayed. Hanu is very viscerally killed, first by having his guts spilled, and then by being mercy killed.
Mercy is not the word I
is-
would use for it.
Fair enough. When I
That was
heard
a
about
Mortal
you getting...
Kombat finisher.
Okay, that duly
And
noted.
got executed.
hmm
Unduly noted.
Yours was described very viscerally. It sounds like Nina's was described in a really heroic way, and Eshe's was very metaphorical and very lost. Do keep us abreast of the situation if either of you have a vision like this.
Hey Hunter, can you put me somewhere on the map? I will tell you where to put me, but just can you put me there?
Oh yeah, sure.
Can you put me in this wall right here?
Specifically this wall.
What's your actual token that is? Alright.
I am.
Honey's head pokes out of the ceiling. You can put me on their side of the wall.
Mhm.
Just, yeah. Hanu's head pokes out of the ceiling. It is rather interesting.
I'm.
Oh, wait. Are you in the grade of this pod?
No, he is in the ceiling.
Okay. Oh, okay, he's in your ceiling catting this?
Yes.
It's
Yep.
ceiling cat.
And
We are definitely missing parts of information.
absolutely. Know that I'm available to talk to any of you about your experiences, but I may need some time before I'm ready to speak more about my own. That was destabilizing in a way that few things are for me, or have been in some time.
And Percival and Dive, you have not experienced anything like this.
No,
No.
not to my knowledge.
They tend to be rather abrupt.
Yeah, considering the experiences everyone else has had, I think I would remember.
I believe you would as well.
Out of character, you did have a strange happenstance, but not a full-on vision.
Percival, right?
Yes.
Yes. Yes, no, I have not had a vision. It's not one as complex as yours. I would not really consider it. More of a moment where your brain simply drifts. Or I guess your programming, if you want to be more specific. You just
thoughts?
Yes, your thoughts. You're just idling, and your thoughts drift.
Did they drift anywhere specific for you?
Not to any visible like everyone else's. I was having a moment to myself in the observation room, just gazing out into the cosmos. As I
understand why.
found myself doing rather frequently, just observing how little we know of existence now that we see the wide array of it.
Ah,
What? Where are you going? Nina?
Goodbye, Nina.
Okay.
Nina.
Bye, Nina.
I suppose she has somewhere to be.
Possibly.
But
Yes, no, it was just gazing out into space and
Head pokes out of a different ceiling. What are you doing?
my,
I
my
got
thoughts drifted and I reached out to a planet, or I guess a star. I couldn't really identify what it was at the time, and just held it in my hand. And then crushed it.
interesting.
I think it was just I came back to myself after that. I believe it was just a moment where idling and thoughts drifted to a strange place.
I'm certainly not ruling out any of these as a mundane experience, but I believe that as we find more and more of them, the coincidences will form a pattern. As it is, though, stay aware. All we can do is take care of ourselves and each other.
Yes.
Wow,
I'm
you guys
not-
really are doing some weird shit. I'm just like, not had anything like that. No weird visions or any weird stuff like that.
Well, if things are to be believed, I believe it may be your turn next. Either
Tiny.
that or I may get a full vision. We don't know.
We shall see.
Haven't we
Yes.
I just had
Like-
pokes out from over here now.
haven't we all reached out, held our fingers, to like house and like imagine crushing the house between the fingers, and then
Oh,
I mean,
yes.
as a child, yes.
Yes.
Not necessarily. Like you would do it maybe with a person that you did not like, or some. Not an entire star.
and then the house bounces back like a sponge.
This never happened.
No, I imagined it.
Yeah,
Also,
honey, stop being such a stick in the mud. You can have imaginations and like, yeah.
That's fair.
Also, Percival, your story is so scary. What are you thinking?
At the time, I don't believe I was thinking anything.
Uh,
I certainly wasn't thinking anything coherent during my experience.
Well, please refrain from contemplating knowledgelessness again.
I will avoid committing imaginary planetary genocide.
Oh no, not that. That's fine. That's fine. Pondering. What was it you said? How little we know of the universe. Ugh.
I mean, at first I thought, between my generations, we know a fair amount of the world.
Yeah.
And then I look out into space and just how little everything is in the grand
I get
scale.
it, you're afraid of not knowing things. Ha!
I don't. Pardon me if I'm incorrect, but it doesn't feel that way, the way you describe it. You sound more
Like you want to destroy it.
excited.
I mean, I am equal parts. I believe the term that in the simulations makes air quotes looking towards Hano.
There were
Um,
simulations. You're correct.
Yes, in the simulations, yes. When the children would call it nervous-sighted. I'm equal parts terrified and excited at the prospect of delving into the unknown.
That reads to me as very different from how Nina experiences it.
Oh, okay, same. But like from
It
a
is not-
slightly different perspective.
It is not so much a fear of the unknown as a desire to imbibe of it.
Yes.
Yeah, it is like there is a cave over in that mountain. What could be in it? It could be nothing. Or it could just be a cave. It could hold, and
Extremely elaborate show for
it could be a
Shadow
dwarven
puppetry.
citadel. It could be
Endless potential.
endless potential.
That seems like one of those morality tests to see whether you're an optimist or a pessimist.
I see
Honey
the
doesn't
cave
say
in the
anything.
distance and want to feel the adventurous desire to explore it, to discover what it holds. And even should I get there and it just be a hole in a mountain, that was still an adventure.
To quote potentially a book, it is the journey, not the destination.
Exactly.
A very common literary term.
So all three dreams had a big blast of light in it, and all three dreams ended with the person dying.
I didn't think of it as a blast of light, but potentially yes, and mine absolutely ended with my death.
I mean, if we're trying to say that they are the same scene, it could be that you were a god. And in your last moments, before you were extinguished, you had a blast of light. You were in the you were the power of a god.
No, I think it's more likely that with the big floating thing in your dream was the dragon and Nina's.
I mean, that's what I was
And that
thinking.
Would not be opposed to being said no. I must admit, it was quite a spectacular way to go out.
So notably, let me say this one. The figure in Hanu's was definitely more humanoid than a dragon.
Okay. It was a
But
devil.
Hanu hasn't said that. Yeah, Hanu hasn't said that, but yes, it was definitely more humanoid.
I mean, that's simply because I didn't realize.
I think I may have mentioned it once in all, in all the other
So,
discussions. I think
I feel like, thinking about it, because you have to think about this stuff, it wasn't a dragon in my vision, however.
Oh, in that case, that they're not the same scene, but they could be in the same sort of situation, like how if they all have like the same light, maybe it's like the same phenomenon happening to different people in different ways.
Hey, Hannah.
Yes.
Do I know who Rovagog is?
Rovagog. Is that a god?
Yes,
Roll
and
me
it's some kind of
religion.
evil god. I can't remember what though, and I don't know that in character.
I would have, from the name, I would have guessed an evil god. Give me
Roll
a
religion?
religion check. Yeah.
Okay. I love if this is a bluff. You're doing great.
By the way, I do have plans. I do have plans for Dive. I just hope you like them because the. Alright.
Okay,
I need that religion check.
Yeah.
Hey, if you also want to do that this session, I'm down for it.
No, the problem is it's gonna take longer than you expect. You don't know about them.
Okay, yeah. That
Hey,
fits
Hannah,
into my
does the
theory.
word the bell that makes it?
The what?
Sorry, what?
I have an out of character theory.
What's your theory?
That the Galarian we know is pre-Rovagog.
Pre what?
Okay.
No, I didn't
had-
hear you cut out.
It
Pre-Rovagog.
cut out, and all I heard was
Pre-Robocop?
pre-Robocop.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Okay.
you know what happens to Rovagog?
No.
I do not.
A big war with a bunch of gods that are forgotten afterwards happens because Rovagog starts eating the material plane. And they
Oh,
imprison Rovagog in Galarian.
I will. Someone did in character bring up the idea of Eshe being a god.
That was
I'll
on
be
you?
honest.
In the ceiling
I
above
was-
you?
I'll be honest, I wasn't feeling all that divine or omnipotent. I was
Very few
feeling
things
more...
do in the time of their demise.
Fair point. What I felt was much closer to alone and afraid.
Okay, real quick, do we have anything we wish to discuss within our group particularly, or am I okay to call on the fancy man?
But
Those that are paying attention, the fancy man did arrive, realized
yeah,
I shouldn't be here. and left.
Opened the door, realized they're
Nice
having a
of him.
moment, and closed it again.
I appreciate it.
He walked in, everyone was here, and he was like, "This
Did
is
you
the
see
conversation.
Hanu
I'll
hanging
see
in the
myself
ceiling?
out." I don't think he did. He might have. I don't know. Everyone
Eshe, when
totally
Eshe explains
involved me.
it,
Bye.
when Eshe explains it to the whole crew, she will explain it not coldly or clinically, but having collected herself a lot more and with less focus on just how vulnerable she felt.
Yeah. As soon as
She
everyone,
wouldn't lie about it, but she would hold back.
Sticking to the facts more than the feelings of it.
Yes.
as soon as everyone's okay with it, Hanu is going to say, "Angel, can you call Anthony to the droid bay?"
But actually, perhaps we should move to a larger room if we
Yes,
are to
let's
have...
move to the kitchen. Or
What?
the dining room,
What?
rather.
I think both of them are actually technically smaller than the droid bay.
a much nicer room.
God, can you put me in the ceiling of one of them?
What room do y'all want?
Dining room.
Eshe says
Dining
the
room has
dining
more
room.
place to
Yeah,
sit.
the dining room would work.
Wee! Hanu pops back in the ceiling.
Who has
the other
has
side.
more? Who's the navigator?
Dive.
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 Okay, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Dive. Have you considered that we may be going back to Galarian?
After 1,000 years.
After 1,000 years?
We've just done one big
After
1,000-year
10,000 years,
circle.
I'm free.
That's actually...
I mean,
Doing a
you're
Planet of
running
the
on
Apes thing going.
you're running on ancient star maps, or it could be the what is it, 85? Sorry, 65. Did you see that?
Even if we were, does it really matter? Because it's going to be different. No matter what, 1,000 years changes a place. We might get to a planet and realize that we are going to a pile of rubble. In which case, we are majorly fucked. But anyway,
That would be silly. Can you imagine somebody doing that? The narrative issues with that. Anyway.
Looks at my notes. Well, it's not happening anymore. No.
Furiously
was never for
scribble
you to
something
return to-
out.
Yeah, your plan was never to return. No.
We arrive on a completely dead planet. You starve here, the end.
Yeah,
There
that's
was-
what
there
that's
was
what the
actual-
joke was.
Yeah.
Meteors
enough, there
fall,
was a,
everyone dies.
There was a random encounter you could have had that was a dead planet that was identical to Galarian, just floating
Ooh, that's
in space.
fun. That's
Um,
fun.
It would eventually you would realize it's not Galarian, but it is identical, and you don't know why, and it's just there instead.
It's like
Why
how
am I
Earth has
not
a
in the
twin
dining
planet
room?
somewhere the fuck
I don't know.
else.
You didn't move
Haven't
yourself.
moved.
Because you didn't
Oh.
move yourself into the dining room.
The only reason God moved me is because I'm in the ceiling.
Okay.
I was asked very politely to move.
Mhm.
Move. I would have moved you if you asked.
Okay.
I try
But,
not to move people without being asked, or I told them I'm going to do it because then both
They
movements
can
happen
get flinged?
simultaneously and they get flung
Yeah,
off
but
into space.
I
Yeah.
I
Literally.
don't want to. I don't want to be too repetitive. So
We blah.
yeah, and I'm absolutely willing to play out any new questions or observations, but Eshe just explains her specific situation to him the way I described earlier.
Yeah. Okay. Is there anything you leave out?
No, Eshe, she will shift the focus. The story she told to her friends, her crewmates, was the story of the emotional experience of it. The story she tells to him is much more a recounting of the physical experiences of it, such as it is.
Okay.
She does acknowledge emotions she was feeling, but she doesn't get as deeply into them. She focuses much more on, again, the air quotes, physical experience.
Yep, and I'm going to let him ask questions about that before Hani starts grilling him for information. You have time to ask questions, little man.
For the record, I believe that I have not ruled out the possibility that it is a dream of some sort or a quirk of my programming, but my current belief is that it was something akin to a vision of my past life. I don't know, I don't believe I've brought this up before, but I am a Duskwalker, someone who was returned to life from death. Not by necromancy, but by the psychopomps themselves. Because they felt there was still something for me to do. And I don't believe it was a literal memory from my past life. Although that is technically possible, I suppose. But I do believe that it was something from there, perhaps mixed with the experiences of my life in the simulation. One way or another, I cannot shake the specter of my past, even if it doesn't weigh on me the way it did when I was a child. It still has found new ways to pique my interest.
And wait, just have one more question. That like, your one is the only one that's like related back to you, hasn't it?
It is
Like,
speculated to relate back to her.
I believe that it is a memory of my past life, but I don't have empirical proof of that. And getting that sort of empirical proof is likely impossible.
Okay, but like, even if it is or is not, is that the same for like Nina and Hanu's things?
I do not know if that devil was me or not. I was in their form and their vision. It was their perspective. But I do not know if they were me.
Your demonic, pardon me, your intrusive thoughts could be a symptom of demonic possession, but I admit that's not my area of expertise.
It also wouldn't be demonic, it would be... What is the demonic?
Devilic, excuse me.
Yes. I also don't know if
Normally
devils
you wouldn't have to make... Yeah, I was gonna say normally you wouldn't have to make that that distinction, but in Pathfinder, yes.
Hellish or infernal?
Infernal possession.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fair.
I doubt it, however, because it doesn't feel like... I can't tell if it is somebody else or just instinct.
If I may, turn to Nina.
Yes.
How old was this person in your vision that you were in the body of?
I have no idea.
I personally feel that I was inhabiting the experience of a child.
I
but
was young.
cannot-
I don't think I would
Someone-
say child, but inexperienced.
Yeah.
You were definitely young. You weren't a child, but you were definitely young, Hana.
I would say early adult, maybe even late teenager.
Someone strong enough to wear armor, wield a shield, and sword.
I mean, I was also
yeah,
that.
Yeah.
Get picked up and survive a dragon attack. So
I mean, you didn't survive.
a dragon attack, not a dragon or a dragon battle.
I can speak from personal experience that you'd require a certain level of physique to be able to comfortably move the required amounts for combat in plate mail.
He says in plate mail.
He says, still wearing his plate mail.
I'm currently trying to build that strength back up myself.
So I don't know. Could be young. Would have to be incredibly talented to survive.
If I were to
dragon attack.
hazard a guess, my bets would be late 20s.
if not a
somewhere
dragon.
around that area.
That's
Mid to late
interesting.
20s.
That's
Maybe
interesting.
30s.
My instinct upon hearing about Nina's was to imagine a veteran.
Yes.
Like, yes, at minimum, I would say late 20s. For someone to take on a apocalypse, to take on a dragon in general, let alone the type that we determined it would be, it has to be 50s, possibly more, somewhere in the prime of his life.
50s. It depends on the person. Humans.
Yeah,
Don't
it does depend on the person. Although this was a CR16
prime that
creature, you can be an adventurer and be early 20s and be killing monsters of that level by your mid 20s. Like, it's not unreasonable. Definitely someone of experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But experience isn't necessarily age, especially in Pathfinder.
It requires a lot of experience and
To simply...
a certain amount of physique.
Yes, correct.
Yes, a certain amount of physique, courage, and understanding to even consider taking on a dragon.
And apparently a connection to some god or other.
It sounded like someone of a holy persuasion.
Might have been
Possibly a
Paladin.
paladin.
Oh, champion, sorry.
Yeah, possibly a champion of sorts.
Perhaps one of those dastardly paladins I heard so much about.
Paladins?
Possibly a
Fucked up.
paladin.
It could, out of character, it could be that we're going from the planet of 1E to the planet of 2E. I know in lore they're the same planet, but
That is some shit I would pull, though.
it's like, yeah,
That is
y'all have a
some shit I would
flashback. Build level 1, build P1 characters, get fucked.
No.
Pathfinder 1 Magus, go.
I might do that for like a one-off as like a interesting like little like let's go back to 1 and see how different you actually play. But like that would like last for like a handful of sessions at most. But no, I'm not doing that.
I've
I
considered
have no
what would
intention of
happen
doing
if I
that.
was a 1E Magus.
I think y'all are far more interesting as level 2 as Pathfinder 2 characters.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think there are oracles in P1, is there?
There
there
is.
There are. Yeah,
That's-
Oracle is
every-
a thing in P1.
Every class in 2E is in 1E.
You know that I'm a, not inventor. You know that
Oh, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
frickin' Freya's an oracle.
Oh.
That's why she
Oh,
was
paladin,
cursed to
but
sing
yeah.
before.
Oh my god, you were Freya. Ellen, you were Freya. No.
Honestly, I'm not ruling out the possibility that things are still kind of meta because Ellen remembers being a paladin. I remember being a child.
Yeah, and I remember being a jacked demon man.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, hey Eli, how does that hold up for jacked demon man?
You were a homosexual creature of the night.
That's not fair. That's not fair.
If I was trying to be super on the nose, I would have just said you were a vampire and been done with it.
Yeah,
Fair,
no,
right?
it would have been super easy to pull that for 0.
And
Inga would never wear armor.
yeah,
you know
it's
well, but
it's
that's
not
true.
1-to-1. I just noticed some things, and to be fair, the child thing is not confirmed the way that Hatter confirmed that you were a young demon. It's just what feels correct to me within the narrative, and I
think
could
did
turn out to be
specify
completely
two-
wrong.
The
I think I did
scream was
specify
young.
2-0 that he was a young.
Yeah,
pit
exactly.
fiend, like a young adult, late teen pit fiend.
And the scream was childlike, but Eshe doesn't know if that scream came from her.
That's fair.
No. I'm gonna say it does. You can tell because you could like. Yeah, I didn't say it, but like a scream is
Okay,
ripped from your
fair.
throat. You did. It was your scream.
Okay, so I do kind of have confirmation of that. Good to know.
Mm.
There
are similarities now that I've said all three of them. There are similarities that I did not intend, but there are definitely similarities that I fully did intend.
Eshe,
So I'm
Was
going
it-
to let you
Sorry,
get
go
one
on.
more thing off before I start questioning.
Eshe was just. I was gonna move into the future, so questions, yes.
Hanu will look at our dude. Sir, Mr. Anthony,
Yes.
the war. Spava. What in the
Yes.
fuck is Spava? You would know.
You know what? That's a fair question while we're all here.
We hadn't been in. There's some. There's that's the context, I suppose. We hadn't been in space for very long. We had just built Horizon. Maybe when I was in my early 20s. We'd only really been in space for about a decade before that. Horizon was a hub for all outer space traveling, mining, trade with alien teams.
Extraplanetary.
Yes, thank you. The phrase "Xeno" also went around on occasion.
That also
So
feels.
it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't a slur, but it does feel like a slur. Exoplanetary beings during a expedition, we came across. We, as in the people.
Galarian.
Yes. Came across a group of people of incredible magic persuasion, and we conducted trade with them quite frequently, to the point that they would stop at Horizon, and this went on for about 15 years. No, this is me misspeaking. This went on for about 5 years, and then suddenly they wiped out Horizon. No explanation. They arrived in orbit with a fleet of ships, demanded things, and when Horizon didn't give, we're not entirely sure what they did, but no one returned from Horizon, and we weren't able to go look, as though that fleet then came home and did the same. They
Where did the
worshipped
name
a god.
Spava come? Okay.
They worshipped a god named Spava, and were very religious in their motifs and the doctrines, even their executions. Their basic troops, from our translation of the language, was desecrators.
That ship,
they-
the one we have in the storage bay, is it one of theirs?
I'm not sure. It doesn't look like it, but they had many ships. I don't know. If we had more, I might be able to tell you, but I don't know. But yes, they laid siege to the entire planet for, I don't know. Near the end, time didn't mean much. Probably 6 or 7 years. And they just slowly swept across the continents, and just wiped out everything in their path.
Fascinating.
I'm very sorry that all the people of Galarian had to live through something like that.
Yes, well, the fact we lived, that's all that matters.
It's not all that matters, but it's quite a bit.
Hani
It's
about to say,
not
I
yeah.
agree. Hani shuts up. No. Interesting. And it took place in the material plane, the war.
Oh, yes.
Interesting.
I never saw this Spava. Word had it that there was a being, a person that was, if not Spava, an avatar of Spava. Something of
Some
that
sort
nature.
of legume.
Something, a being of notable power.
He looks
and...
like he was from the anime One Piece. No.
Fuck you.
Look, you pulled Kaido. Like,
I did.
Like, the minute I saw him, I was like, oh, we're fucked. We're just fucked. Gotcha.
Nobody liked my legume joke. It's okay.
I didn't quite get it. Okay, Dive will, Clay will remember this information.
They will remember that.
Clay?
Why
is Clay remembering this?
Because my memory's bad. And
Yeah,
if
Clive has ADHD.
If my memory is bad, and if I go, oh yeah, they said something about this. Hey Clay, what did they say? Hatter will be like, oh yes, I remember because you told me to write it down. This was further because I'm dumb.
Ellen's legume joke was a pun on beings and beings.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. Beans are legumes.
And yes, I didn't like it.
But yes, there was resistance. Some people put up more resistance. But if I had known that this would have been the outcome, I wouldn't have set up trade negotiations with them.
No, I don't believe that's actually accurate. You cannot wish prejudice upon someone before you have met them. What you did was actually rather intelligent.
No, you
It's the kind
can.
of- you can't really tell a person from first glance.
You can regret, yes.
Yes.
You can't
Correct.
not
What I
accurately
What
tell
I
a
mean to
person
say
from
is
first
that
glance.
my hand in... I regret my hand in anything to do with them, which there is. And I regret that.
What?
It's not something
Okay,
you can
Hatter,
really
could
do
you
about
write down specifically what happened in all three of the visions? I have an idea.
Okay. Can I know what this idea is?
So.
Should I put in the lore
I,
chat?
I'm,
Yeah.
I'm wa-
Basically, I want to know what these things are before I say what the idea is.
I'm waiting on a bit more before I properly. I have a theory, but I'm waiting on more context before I properly
Okay.
put down on it.
Someone got PM'd.
I'll write my own thing down, Hatter.
Okay.
It's fresh on my mind, and I want to make sure that I only communicate what I experienced of it.
I feel like it has something to do with range. So, Nina saw White after falling a distance from the dragon, and Eshe's being and surroundings became clearer the closer she got to that shack or mansion or whatever it was. And that is the basis of my idea. I want to start forming a plan, or start forming a thing in my brain, but I need to know specifically like wordings and stuff.
Solution is simple. Move 500 feet in that direction.
Cast teleport.
Get away from Percival.
Get away from Percival! What did Percy ever do?
I have done nothing
Dragon,
wrong.
apparently.
Nothing.
Yeah,
You've done nothing wrong and I
apparently
love
I'm
you.
a dragon.
Percival is the destroyer of worlds. And if we get a certain distance away from Percival, we will also experience the white flash.
He was right next to me when I had my vision.
Uh-huh.
I guess I did get
Me.
flashbanged.
I am the secret bad guy.
I spell strike Percival.
When have we ever been a mile away from Percival? Huh?
Never.
Never.
So?
Aura of campaign.
We're a campaign.
I'm disappointed there's no pencil tool, so I can't draw angry eyebrows onto Percival.
That's funny.
There is. It just has to be enabled, but that's a bit more complicated.
That's fine.
Look, if we know anything about Roll20, it would cause lack.
Yeah, that's probably fair.
It's probably why it's not a default feature.
I think my plan probably isn't right. However, it's still good to have these things written down in the lore chat.
I find it funny that Hannah hasn't responded to any of this.
I'm typing.
No, I know. I'm just making a joke.
Of course, Hatter is clearly rewriting the whole campaign.
from beginning to end.
I hope no one betrays me. I'll cry.
Then cry!
Right.
I have trust issues.
Look, I have been waiting for a DM to point at me and go, be evil, for multiple campaigns, and no one has ever done it!
If you just tell me from the beginning, I'll be like, all right, I'll find a way.
I
You
did
gave me
that
the
with...
option. I'm just terrible at it.
I gave it to Smart... I mean, I had a little bit of it with, Lizzie, but it wasn't exactly my choice, and people roasted the shit out of her. I got blackmailed, and then the shit roasted out of me.
Yeah, I've kind of played an evil character.
Okay, so like
Luther's
I've
kind of fucked up.
I've played evil, and then within a session of being evil, I was a good guy. So like, I'm not amazing at it, but like I'm waiting for it to be pointed at and be like, be a fucked up little man. You know, like go, dare to be stupid, yo.
Eventually, I'll play Three Houses again to completion.
One day I'll play any amount of Three Houses again.
Alright, let me read over Eshes real quick.
At one point, I might actually play Fire Emblem.
I would start with Awakening, because it's a really good starting. And if you get a little bit more difficult, I would say the Radiant games.
I mean, to be fair, it's not like I'd say that not like I'm completely blind to Fire Emblem, just a recent Fire Emblem one day I will play.
That's fair. I have, what's the word? I have a Fire Emblem game in 2 days. I'm going to be playing a bird.
Bird up.
Bird power.
Running that game, Neon, right?
Yeah.
Who are the other players?
Niasper, Spacey, and Ellen.
Nice.
Hi.
Ellen's playing a cat girl.
Yeah.
I say this in a staredy lie.
Fucking cat girls.
Bird up.
Bird up.
I
Oh.
can't stop looking at that Bernadetta art. It's so cute.
Don't fuck with me, I will cry.
Don't fuck with me. Don't fuck with me. I will. Do not fuck with me. I will cry.
Noctua.
I was thinking
Sorry,
Ida from our Thursday game. Do not fuck with me. I will cry.
Do not fuck with me, I will crit.
She does that, doesn't she?
Yes.
Do not fuck with me. Coxgun. I will crit.
I'm a healer, but
I'm a healer, but playing that kind of character is a blast. You play a character who is just about to cry at all times.
So what is Hatter doing right now? What are we doing?
He's typing up
Typing up
the
Eshes
things.
just to like, you know, directly from because you said wording's important.
Yep, he's typing up the thing for you.
you type,
As you asked.
and it is very hard to type and talk at the same time.
Yes.
So we're going to continue talking to distract him. Because we're fuckers.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't like that. Damn it. I hate drawing wings. Why do I keep doing this to myself?
I like
Because
wings.
I like wings.
Wings are cool, but they're
Especially-
so
Alright.
irritating to draw.
There.
Thank you, Huffle.
Read them over, yes. Okay.
Okay, where
While
was
you
I?
read that. So,
Bava.
Spava, yes. Yes, there was a figure that was possibly Spava, or an avatar of Spava, or something that would walk battlefields and such.
Hmm. Yishabu says hi.
Yashibu! Hi. Yes, hello. Anyone else?
Monkey.
Monkey.
I mean, I wanted to ask him what the fuck a Spava is, and he did let me know.
Yeah.
One,
I appreciate that.
thank you very much, Hatter. 2, do you know what this avatar's appeared like?
No, I
Man
never
from the One Piece.
saw it. I wasn't a battlefield combatant.
He was a rich man.
That's understandable. I was wondering if you'd heard reports.
No, sorry.
That's all I got for right now.
Diva's not really paying attention to the conversation.
That's fair.
She's,
Well,
she's drifting like she's in zero gravity, just like floating around the room.
It's just that one gif of the seal that's rotating.
What do you think of all this, Anthony? I had spoken with you prior about how we're not exactly normal.
This is beyond me? Maybe someone's trying to send you a message?
Fascinating. That is an idea if I've ever heard one, at the very least.
Oh, I know what the message is.
Get good, scrubs.
Stop dying.
Do it again.
It is that we will all die at the hands of the armies of Spava.
Be
I
sure
would-
to drink your Ovaltine.
What?
Go off that.
I mean, that's not an unreasonable thought, Nina.
Yeah.
A threat vision is still a vision.
We could all be getting anxiety dreams.
You don't sleep.
Well, I do.
I wasn't
now.
asleep when I had mine.
Uh,
I was in the digital space.
And
yes,
I
you
believe
are.
Eshe was walking the halls when they had theirs.
Sorry, Hano. That is functionally.
Yeah. The fact that most of you don't sleep means I have to find unique time to do this.
You're correct. Mine hit me in the middle of my patrol. Apparently, I paused for only 5 to 6 seconds. It felt a great deal longer than that.
Functionally sleep.
Yeah, I got nothing.
Well, if they are trying to send us a message saying, you will die at the hands of Spava and his forces, I would like to send them a message back. How
Is it-
about no?
I was gonna say, is it take your pants off and moon them?
If I could actually send them a visual message, it would just be me giving them the finger. But I do not believe we have that sort of technology
Which
or
finger?
magic to provide. We do have magic, but I don't know.
The biggest finger or the
Regardless.
most powerful finger?
Regardless, the message is, how about we don't? Because, well, I believe we might be able to handle one or two, depending on the forces. I'm not opposed to...
Considering in the simulation, we actually got relatively decent at fighting Smafa.
Yeah.
Don't
Also,
it surprise me well to go up against a CR10 creature, I'll give you that.
We held our own for a decent time.
I flashbanged the guard.
You did.
Also, I think we should probably, like, save judgments on what's gonna happen with it until we've all had these, if we're all going to have them. And then it would be like a story that we can all piece together, like a puzzle.
And also, we should not worry too
Agreed.
much about what might happen. We will deal with things as they come. It is much easier that way.
Yeah.
I agree with both of them. The more time you have, the more information you get, and thus easier to solve the mystery.
Mhm.
Because quite is something. Something
Monkey.
is
It is
definitely
indeed something.
going on.
Yeah.
Hey, Angel.
Yes.
2 questions. 1, what do you think about this whole mess?
2, are we going to Galarian?
Yes, actually, what is the estimated arrival time? I'm curious.
Let's wait for the answer for the first one. Everybody?
If you could, you don't have to answer those all at once, just one at a time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have no pertinent information.
Thank you for humoring me, at least.
Navigation does not. Navigation indicates we are not heading to Galarian.
What does the planet that we're going to have a name?
It has a designation.
And that is...
Please tell me I wrote it down. Hold on.
Galarian 2!
Oh, yeah, yes. S152, S1526.
Is that in lore?
No, that's not in law. Yes, it is in law. It's in the back. It's just before Anthony Vanderwood's name. You're going to planet S1526.
Actually, that is, now that I'm thinking about it, do we know much about this planet other than it is habitable?
No, and I don't think Angel does either.
Information does not designate as a literal space yet.
Yeah, because it
As
said that
possibly
things first.
It... Understandable. It got me thinking, was all, that we don't actually know much about this place that we are going to, other than it has the ability to sustain life.
Scythe.
Scythe?
Scythe. S15. Scythe. I think that might be a suitable name for it, at least in the meantime.
Until the natives tell us what its name is.
Will there be names?
And there is not the unlikely chance that there could be natives.
It would be... We have seen
That
too
is-
many examples of extraplanetary life for us to be believing that we are not going to an inhabited planet.
That's a
Yeah,
very
I
good point.
don't
Excuse me.
We did just assume that. But if
Our life is not going to be that easy.
Angel did say that this isn't inhabitable yet, but that could also mean that this isn't inhabitable by these people down set.
Yes.
Information on the destination is limited.
Yeah,
Understandable.
don't worry, we know. Take it easy. We're gonna guess that.
Well, I suppose if there is native life, we should at least try to make amicable terms with them.
Did you at least scout out the destinations with interplanetary teleport?
Information limited.
No, I'm asking this guy.
Oh,
They were running from a planet that was on fire.
yes, thank you. No, essentially you're just going to system looking for a habitable planet.
Ah,
We
This
we
is
are
the
not
next
the
one.
only ship.
If we are to find natives there, I understand that the circumstances are very different, but we would do well to avoid the colonizing tactics of those who came to the Mwangi Expanse.
Yes, we should approach it peacefully and maintain.
I will take whatever measures are necessary to make sure that that doesn't happen. And you see a rare look of contempt on Eshe's face as she mentions that.
What? Sorry.
The colonization that happened to the Mwangi Expanse.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You think about what you're going to have to do when you get to this planet.
Eshe is explicitly making the point that that is not what we're going to be doing.
Yes, I would much rather we avoid aggressive territory expansion.
Speaking with people of prominence and getting a piece of land, if there are people that are already living there, of course, would be the most preferable.
Dives is like a spin with that.
Mhm.
Yeah, this is all taking into account if there's actually anyone
If
on the
this
planet.
this is taking into account there are locals. If there are not,
It would be
that
foolish
is-
to assume there isn't.
The voice
It-
of the
yeah.
voice of God. There will be because otherwise there's no story.
Ah,
Because it's
We are
not.
not
It'd be too
disputing.
easy if there wasn't.
I'm not disputing that there will not be locals, but on the off chance that there are not locals, that is a section that we do not need to worry about.
Things are infinitely easier if there are not locals. Locals feels odd to say as well. Better than natives.
Denizens.
Denizens. That's good, yes.
Yes, things do tend to be a lot easier when they are not a problems tend to be easy when they are not problems.
Like I said, it would be foolish to assume there will not be.
Yes, so we all need to make amicable terms with the denizens of the planet.
and I'd probably suggest that we do that before opening all the pods.
That is,
Absolutely.
remember, part of the plan is to have a scout team, us,
We will,
go down.
Yes, we should. I have actually been sort of making a few plans. He takes out his little quartermaster's book, flips a few pages back to like the back. I did not have any plans whatsoever to originally open any of the pods until we had housing, food, and water established, the basics of living. However, that has not changed too much, as it is only your good self. So that is still a course, but the first step would be making amicable terms with the denizens and acquiring a plot of land that we can at least set up a camp in, and then we shall find a way to establish a food and water, the basics. From there, we can slowly progress, and once we have acquired the basics of a village, safety, food, shelter, then we can maybe consider opening a few of the pods at a time as we progress.
We do not want to do it too far apart, however. We do not want anyone to wake up and at one point and then another group wakes up and the others are 20 years older.
Oh yes, no, I do not wish to open like a group now and then wait several years and then a group. We just...
I agree that we need to
basic...
be ready for it.
Yes, we need to have the sustainability before we start awakening people.
I appreciate your forward thinking, Percy.
I'm gonna learn to love mushrooms too.
We are having potatoes as well, and you will be surprised that you will be surprised how late you can go with just some potatoes. I wish we had some rice as well. You can do wonders with just potatoes and rice.
You know what I would kill for?
What?
A steak.
Cheese.
Oh yes, just a nice wheel of cheese and some slices of meat.
Oh,
Go on then.
cheese, mushrooms and potatoes, all three of them. You can do so much.
She grins over at the guy. Well, go on then, whip your titties out and we can milk you for some...
On you just fucking...
Please, we are in. It's like feigns a gasp, like, Dave, please, we are in company. Cannot disrobe in such noble company.
I pointed him with my laser cutter.
You wouldn't cut
And I say,
cheese.
you will not kill anyone over cheese.
Yep. It was.
It is. It just reaches out, pushes our hand down. It's a figure of speech.
And she is
I
joking.
know. I know.
Yes.
I'm joking. That's why I don't have my real gun.
Yeah, still, let's not point tools that can
Oh,
hurt.
this is not even hooked up to anything. It doesn't do anything.
A weapon, anything is a weapon if you swing it hard enough.
I am not swinging it. I'm pointing it.
Yeah, okay, it's still just pushing our hand down.
Anyway.
Oh man.
Anyway.
Oh yeah, hang on. There we go.
He
I'll
steps
put
on the
my-
table because he would still be the same height.
Yes, he's standing
I'll
on the
put my
table.
tool
pushing our
away.
hand down.
Anyway.
But yes, we have some potatoes, so I can
Potato.
see what I can prepare. It's
Yeah,
not actually cooked.
Potatoes
Or-
are excruciatingly customizable to fit any sort of meal that you want, because you can make...
Potatoes are a great crop for.
I'm going to be a little bit
civilization.
generic here. Do you know what sounds amazing to me? A peach.
I think you're gonna say banana.
Oh yes, fresh
No.
fruit.
Oh.
No.
That does sound good.
The people in the simulation where Nina and I from we live near peach trees.
Monkey want a banana.
No, I want a
You
peach.
banana monkey.
He's on the
Uh,
ceiling and
let-
he just looks
let
at me
us-
like,
Let us
I have a
stop
dog.
talking about food,
Next
or we will make those
yeah.
that can get hungry hungry.
that would be me.
And me.
And me.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you're one of the people here who doesn't need to eat.
I don't
Nina,
need to
please
eat, but I
don't-
can get hungry.
Nina, please don't say that. Hatter will require us to feed another mouth.
Look, it's not common, but I can get hungry. I don't need to eat, though.
If I could have any fruit, it would be one of those very large, very soft, ripe pears.
Mm.
You know, the ones that are like so juicy, it just pours down your mouth.
Ew.
I will admit, I am not
Yeah.
opposed to just a simple sandwich.
Mm.
I wish we could have some salmon.
I would like a banana.
Oh, salmon. Y'all are making me hungry. Damn.
Yeah, so that is why I suggested.
Welcome, Hatter,
cease-
to what happens when
No,
you're in a
that's in
space
character.
game.
That's in character.
I did suggest that we cease talking about food and then we
Look, if you
continued.
spook me, if you spook me hard enough, maybe my tail will fall off and we can eat that.
God, no.
That seems like a bad idea.
Yeah.
I like how like terrified he sounded. Like, that sounds like a bad idea.
Bad idea.
Yeah, you don't want to know where that's been.
Ugh.
I don't even know if it grows back.
I presume it does.
I would hope it would, if it falls off.
Okay, we also don't know why it grew in the first place.
That is also, yes. We do not know where it came from, and we do not know if it will come back.
One place we do know where it's been, stuck in a vent.
Yes.
That was one time.
Hanu is still hanging from the vent.
Dive is just like next to him, just floating. And they're both pointing and laughing at Nina.
Though I do also... I am saying we do not talk about food, and I am the one talking about the food, so I will make this the last comment. I
Okay,
do
we
have
could-
plans, once we have established, to possibly start something of a brewery, because
Ooh.
I do miss alcohol.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like coffee.
Also, a nice cup of tea was not bad in the afternoon, but just a nice cold alcohol. And on the
Yeah.
plus side, alcohol is good for medicinal
Not
purposes
having-
as well.
Not having bacteria in it.
Yes, so it is a purpose on two fronts.
Uh-huh.
To prevent any more talk of food, have you all ever heard of the durian?
That's food.
Yes.
Fruit. That's food.
Yeah, it's delicious.
I understand where you're coming from, yes. It is a food, but it is a very vile food.
Oh, no, it's delicious.
If you've never seen one, it's covered in spikes. It smells disgusting, and
I've heard it tastes a lot nicer than the other senses.
yes, but you'd
Just like
have to
honey.
ignore those first two.
Hanu bites you. He just like... "Ah."
Tastes well. You meant that he tastes well.
Dive bites Honey back. Dive having shark teeth, it hurts a lot more. Shark teeth versus funky teeth.
The two of them... Hanu is still hanging from the vent as they are squabbling.
No, I would say the durian is delicious.
Says the
I've
monkey.
had some.
I believe our talk of food has caused uproar between the group.
No, you know
If-
what's terrible? Pears. Ugh.
Ashe just shakes her head and says, if you don't break anything while you fight, or I'll shove one of you out the airlock.
No, that's
And-
not fair, we'll die.
That's
I'll
the
put a
point.
spacesuit on you first.
Also, please do not eat each other.
We're not.
It's fine, we're just playing, aren't we, Honey?
He bites you.
I reiterate my threat. And Eshe smiles and shakes her head, and she is going to get to her feet and walk out. And for the rest of the day, she's unusually reserved.
I am going to go change as well. It's starting to get a little uncomfortable in this armor.
I was gonna say something in character, I think. I can't remember what. Oh yeah. One last thing about food. It might be disgusting, but it probably is less disgusting than pork. I have decided that Dive is a pescatarian.
What? Hawk?
Understandable. I will put it on the list.
Yeah, that basically pescatarians eats fish, but not any other meat. Basically a vegetarian, but she's allowed to eat fish.
They just don't like pork.
Well, no, they I don't know. I think they don't like pork, and they don't like.
A Catholic during Lent.
Yeah, I think they are literally just vegetarians, but eating fish.
That's fair. I considered making Hanu a vegetarian because monkey. Fun fact about Sun Wukong.
Because Sun Wukong.
Yeah, he was a vegetarian.
I got the reference when you were making.
He was forced to be a vegetarian.
No, he was a vegetarian. He was forced to stop killing people. He was a monkey. That's why he was a vegetarian.
Monkeys are omnivores.
I got the reference when you were talking about beaches.
Yeah, but monkeys mostly eat fruit because fruit is all they really need.
Fair enough.
Also roots, fruit and roots.
Yeah, I said I'm going to be a little bit generic here and wanted everyone to say banana, so I could pull the rug from under them and say peach.
Yeah.
Nina said banana.
I heard that.
She's banana colored.
You are banana colored.
Mm-hmm. You're ready for the scene, Hannah.
He's BRB.
Oh,
Also,
we're ready. He isn't.
I want to learn how to draw Neko Arc style characters because I want to draw Dive as Neko Arc.
Oh, the little chibi shits?
Yeah.
Shitty little chibis.
I'm already a chibi.
You could chibify Hanu pretty easily.
It's just reversed. Everyone is like tiny, and then there's Percival who's like 6'3".
You remember that Hanu is small too, right?
Yes, but he's still the smallest.
That's fair. That's fair.
I'm talking specifically Neko Arc style, so not just just a chibi. This chibi.
This specific chibi.
While Hatter's away, that vision genuinely threw me for a loop. Neither I nor Eshe ever considered the possibility that she died young.
Fair.
Or that she's now lived far longer than she ever did before in her past life. And I can't explain it, but that hit really hard.
Fair. So my Hanu voice has been a little bit flickery today.
Understandable. I've been having some trouble getting into Eshe as well.
Like I have to be like a little bit gravelly, but it's like not Dio level. Like, he's still like a reasonable level. You know? You know.
Yeah, just Dive as Neko Arc. Dive is just. When it comes to characters like Juno and Rhyme, I have problems with distinguishing their voice. Same with like Dive and one of my characters is called Valerie. But
Dive is very distinctive because she talks a lot with the way she talks, because it's not just how she talks, it's the way she talks as well. And Valerie is just sort of like, I don't even remember.
I think Hatter's back, by the way.
Oh, is that back?
I think so. I think I heard him.
Oh.
I also want to say how funny it was. Dive says the thing. I bite you. Just fucking
Having a ceiling fight.
He has his little like hair tendrils plugged into something in the vents to keep him steady. His tail
Ashe
wrapped in a
casually
pipe.
threatens to murder them.
You try. I'll get your ass first.
We can hide in the vents together, honey.
Ashe reaches for
Hanu,
Hanu.
I'm your fellow imposter. No, my thanks.
My vent.
Right.
Hanu is the imposter who stays in the vent the entire game. Like, has anyone seen Hanu? No. Has anyone died? No. Hanu plays event imposter who doesn't kill because he's so pissed he can't fix the ship.
Amazing.
He's like, this is my ship. I want to fix it. Won't let me fix it.
He's pissed that he has to fake doing the tasks rather than actually doing them.
Dive
Ashe
is
is-
sort of innocent, where she will watch the imposter kill and not say anything about it. Just like, oh yeah, no, that's cool.
Eshe is always pegged as the imposter first every single time, no matter what. Partially just because, but also partially because when she is the imposter, she is ruthlessly efficient. Like, everyone dead before the first buzzer can be hit efficient.
Oh god, no, I kind of like, it's like, you watch him kill someone and then he talks you out of it.
Amazing. Nina is
fucking
obviously
silver
the one
tongue.
who always leads the
Yeah.
investigation.
It's like you literally walk into
Yeah.
electronics as he does it, you go over to the body, report it, and then he just talks you out of it.
Amazing.
Bah. Hanu noises.
Mhm.
I bite. I also did a little doodle while we were playing.
Oh, yes?
Me?
Ooh, that's cute as hell.
Yeah.
Is that anybody I know?
No, it's just an OC.
Okay.
Fair enough.
I like her design.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I thank you.
Engine. I like engine. Post the Roma design. Also the wings are neat.
Yeah. There's a few things new in this design. Here is
Yeah.
her like OG design drawn by me. And let me grab the Roma design. Zero Flow Commission.
I wish I had $100 and the timing of which Roma opened commission so I can get one of these for Looker. This is my OC drawn by Spacey. I don't think Spacey ever finished it.
Spacey do good art.
Spacey do very good.
You can
art.
see them in my game on my channel.
Ooh.
Hatter's back.
Hi.
Welcome back.
Hello.
Mm.
Hello!
All right.
We're ready!
Sorry about that. I did not plan on being away for so long, but
It's fine.
hi. Yes. So,
So anyway, the children are squabbling in a bed.
The children are having a ceiling fight.
all right. To be honest, like, yeah, Vanderwood can talk with other people, but honestly, I don't have anything in mind for him to actually say.
He's no interests right now.
Yeah.
He's still trying to find his slot.
Yeah, he'll talk with here's the thing. He's going to talk with Eshe and
Percival?
Pussy, but he mentally I'm like, what the fuck would they talk about? Mostly it would just be small talk.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think it needs to be played out.
Uh-huh.
So, did you say something about a time skip before?
Yeah, we go planet side.
That's what I was thinking. And notably, for a few days after her vision, Eshe would be a little more reserved than usual, but she'd pick up over time.
Alright. So we have a bit of a time skip.
How many days?
Let's say 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Okay, are you okay with me working on my bike in the meantime?
Yeah.
So
Basically,
14 days.
Yeah. Alright. Dive.
Yeah.
I have nothing planned. Never mind. I have a thing. In the overarching thing, I know what how I fuck with you is. Your vision stuff. I know what that is, and I'm hoping you'll be okay with it. But you won't. It's not gonna come up for a while.
What do you mean it's not gonna come up?
I'm sorry.
Can you give me bullet points to see if I'm okay with it?
No, because the bullet point will get reveal the. I'm so. It's not like the actual stuff that's in that's the actual stuff. It's the meta sense of what's
making you wait.
Kind of.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I see.
Yeah.
Making me wait. I'm not happy. How could you make me wait? No, I'm joking.
I mean, it's gonna be waiting for a while. It comes. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
So, I wanted to incorporate your glitchiness. Or your brokenness. I'm not sure how we're describing it. And I thought I found a really interesting way to incorporate it, but it does mean that the way I fuck with you is different than everyone else.
Cool.
You just need to die.
Huh? What?
Nothing.
I just need to die.
Yeah, just die.
I guess I'll just die then.
I can fix that for you if you'd like.
So the joke about it's been 2 weeks isn't true. It's been however long it takes for you to get to the planet.
Is it 2 weeks?
Unspecified amount of time later.
I don't remember because I don't remember in the timeline of where you are now. I
Okay,
forgot when.
this is
the-
important though because I just changed
1
my
month.
money for my bike.
Let's say 2 weeks. Let's say 2 weeks and leave it at that.
Okay. Thank you.
Eshe will spend the first of the 2 weeks continuing to try and learn sign.
Ooh.
And
Yeah.
remind me, do I do a society roll for that?
I believe you
think
and
so,
Nina
yes.
both do.
What was that?
You and Nina both do.
Are you okay with being a part of that, Ellen?
Yeah, I'm teaching.
It's how you're learning it.
Well, yeah, I figured, but I don't want to monopolize your time by myself.
No, I'm teaching it.
Okay.
You don't get a choice anymore.
I think Dive was also learning.
Perfectly average.
Or was I? I probably,
Perfectly average.
As all things
No.
should be.
Imperfectly average. Slightly below.
Fair point.
B.
Yeah. Okay. So, Hada, what
Yes.
happens?
You're still learning.
No. We
What?
did it. Yeah.
Or are you saying that we're still learning?
You're still learning.
Oh,
Okay.
Yes, you
Uh,
rolled. You did not succeed in doing it.
Okay, I figured.
Then-
You made
You're still
progress.
learning.
Actually,
Yes.
may I do it again for the second week?
I guess that is how that works. Yes, go ahead.
Is that all right with you, Ellen?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey,
Dive is trying.
wait, what the hell?
I was trying.
What's up, Eli?
You bitch, die. Not dive, die.
What
What?
if you insist?
I'll give it to you, Usher.
Alright, thank you. Do you remember what you were doing with the languages and how to learn it last time?
So I'm giving it to you.
Okay, that's fair. The way you were doing it was like setting a super high DC and then lowering it every time I failed.
Yeah, I don't remember what that DC was.
That's fair. Alright.
I think at this point you probably succeeded. So.
Thank
Yeah.
you very much, dear.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So. You eventually make it to the outer reaches of a system, and the ship begins to slow. It still takes a little time to actually like get there, but you are like, there's a sun really nearby. You know, there's planets. You're kind of making sure you're not going to be clashing into anything that's floating in space. You can feel on occasion the slow turn of the ship readjusting to ensure that it doesn't hit anything. So eventually, the ship comes to what feels like a stop.
Angel, what's wrong?
We are currently over the planet S1526.
We're here!
Oh. Very well.
Planet Ho!
Planet Ho indeed.
Everyone move to the observation deck.
Eshe will get on her armor, put on her loveliest dress, and tie ribbons up in her dreads, and will get ready to go planet side.
Big Jack Dibs up another gear. No, you don't.
She pisses you off. I call dibs, I'm here first.
I get the wheel.
Fine. I'm the captain.
This is untrue.
Where's that shit? There she is. Ah! Through the wall!
It was me, I did that. On the screens, you eventually, comes up a relative map of the planet.
Oh, I don't know if token with vision this week.
So
Also,
go to the map screen, right-click the map, and then under configurations, under the lighting, it should have an option for doesn't need token.
Also, I asked earlier when we were talking about it if Angel has had any of these dreams.
Oh, no.
I see. Hey, yo, is that a fucking castle in the middle? Looks like a patchwork quilt. Let's go.
What the fuck?
I think it's a volcanic island.
Why are there
if I'm not
flowers? Why?
mistaken.
What the fuck?
Those are some big ass flowers.
Oh my god, this place is inhabited.
So the middle island is not super well thing, but it's this entire island. Though you can see like
This is
a
fucking
mountain
beautiful.
a mountain right in the middle. The entire island appears to be a massive cityscape, to the point that you can almost make out the grid lines.
This is super inhabited.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you can make out towns and cities and shit from space. Like it's like they're not as big as they are on this map, but it's clear like, oh, that's a thing.
Hey, wouldn't it be fucked up if this was Spava's home planet?
It would be, yes. Let's not prepare for that in the time being.
Like they're just some fucked up cult from this planet that was like went rogue. Wouldn't that be fucked?
Yeah, it would be. Anyway, let's land here.
Why there?
Let's,
There's in between two cool
no,
places.
we should land further away from civilization.
We should survey first.
Yeah, there is good.
There
Land
or
Land closer to the river. We want to be near running water.
let's say either here or over here.
I do like this spot.
It's closer to a peninsula, and there's a weird cow. I won't lie. There's a weird cave thingy.
What about these islands?
Remember, y'all, we're looking at a planet. Thing is a much bigger scale. We're not going to be.
Oh
going
yeah,
to-
obviously. We're just picking like a general area.
This cave
So-
is not a day's walk away from this peninsula.
So immediately, real quick, Angel says, after scanning the planet, unnatural geological formations found.
Right.
Interesting.
Yes, I was curious about that. I was wondering if the center or sea was caused by a meteor strike sometime in the past.
Yeah, that middle section seems real fucking weird.
That's my guess off the top of my head.
We
At
can't
any
land
rate.
there. Angel, if you were to guess, what would it look like if we landed? What kind of disruption of the land will happen when our pod lands?
Minor.
Minor. Good to know.
I think we
Almost
should.
like that thing there.
I think we should survey multiple areas. Make sure that we don't pick any place that someone might come 2 years later and tell us, "Oh, this is our hunting grounds that we use every couple of years." because-"
Reminder, you are landing this ship anywhere.
No,
Yeah,
we're landing.
no.
We're going in. We're basically dropping a pod.
Yeah.
Yes, but like
Yeah.
we're establishing a place for people.
Yeah,
to
where would we establish?
We want to make sure that nobody's gonna come and say, "Oh, the place that we go every couple of years." Just ruin it.
Fuck off!
I hate
Yeah.
that you've called that out.
And we want to do multiple places in multiple places,
So
so that
there's-
if someone comes, we can say, "Okay, I mean, we have a different thing. I'm sorry, we can go there."
Angel
issue-
from the-
Is that they can say that about literally anything, anywhere we land, because we don't know anything about the history of this land.
Yeah, but that's fine.
Angel,
Yes.
can we establish communications with the planet below?
No known way to do so.
Do we have no way of Star Trek Next Generation screen up, talk to the people down there?
No.
I can think of a few ways to do it, but I also think that it may not be the best idea until we know the landscape of the major civilizations.
Copper ores found.
Oh, that would be nice.
Oh,
To
that's
repair
good.
those.
How advanced do these cities look from the
Again, it's hard to tell. You can definitely tell. Oh yeah, those are structures. Those are not natural things. People made those, but it's kind of hard to tell from.
Hatter, I have a meta question for you.
Yes.
Do you already have a place you know we're going to land?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
That's why Angel's been like, copper found.
Okay, I was wondering. Is
Okay.
copper important?
Mark
Copper
that.
is base material for a lot of crafting.
Mark the place with copper on our list. We'll survey that area. Is there any other places with copper? Maybe some with tin, gold,
Iron.
iron would be nice.
Deposits
Aluminium.
Deposits of copper also have deposits of lead, zinc, gold, and silver.
Wow, that's neat.
Mm.
And
If you find copper, you're pretty set for a lot of shit.
If you find copper, there's probably a fair number of
Well,
We
minerals
can't
around.
just go to a random planet and start mining them for resources. It's rude.
How
Correct. What?
How far away is the nearest visible from here civilization?
From the location?
Yeah, from that location. I would like a few
10.5
hundred.
miles.
It's not very far.
Is it close
Correction.
to running fresh water? Oh,
Several veins of copper found.
Oh, okay.
Furthest, 10.7. Closest, 0.1.
Ah, fuck.
Oh, wow, someone just
Okay, we're
set
gonna
up
have to-
on
likely a mining community?
a most
that
likely a
one-
mining town.
For that one, we're
She
gonna have to.
marks the place that I want you to land. About here.
Thank you for asking that, Zero. I didn't think of that.
Yeah, I was gonna have Angel slowly push you in that direction.
For that one, we're gonna have to.
I think landing around here.
Yes.
That
can't-
is not. Again, we're talking about a scale of continents.
We
here.
cannot land on mountains or in a forest. Yes, it will take times. We can't. You simply cannot land. It is too
Yeah.
dangerous.
It's literally a pod. We can land
It's-
on mountains or in a forest.
I mean, we can land on mountains, yes. We can't establish on a mountain, though.
No, I mean this is at the base of a. There is a field. We can
And
land.
again, this is a pod. We are probably gonna have to get back
Yeah.
up to the ship anyway to establish or bring the ship down. Eventually, when we find a place, we can bring the ship down here or somewhere.
Yeah, I'm just saying that if we're going to demand to land the ship in a field, then land it in a field next to the forest. Because if we go far away from the forest, then we will be hundreds or thousands of kilometers away.
I mean, ideally, you want to go there because it's close to the forest and the river. But
Yes,
yeah.
yes, good thinking.
So for that one, we're gonna have to establish diplomatic relations. And
I mean, we were going to have to do that regardless.
you
so-
know, we could pick an empty space.
Hey,
This
Hatter,
is
did
a
you read the new
inhabitants.
rules from Kingsmaker about making civilizations and shit?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
This
That's
is a
not
lot
what
of,
this campaign is about.
there's a lot of places on Galarian where nobody's been.
Yes,
This
but we
isn't
also-
Galarian.
We also need a habitable place. We can't
Yes,
just set
yes.
up in the middle of nowhere.
I'm just saying.
The area that
Annoying.
the area that was indicated would be habitable. As we can see, there's a forest separated from a desert by a mountain, so that means that we would be receiving plenty of rain.
Well, we don't know if we can eat anything there, but yes.
Glad you noticed
Yes,
the rain
but-
shadows.
Yeah,
I did!
Rain shadows? Where are
the
they?
rain
So
shadow.
rain
that's a-
shadows are a natural phenomenon that one side of the mountain will collect rain clouds, and thus, and it'll rain on that side, and because it's collecting on that side, it won't collect on the other, causing a disparage of like dry and wet on either side.
Hmm.
So you get a desert separated from a very wet territory, like a forest.
Yes.
Hmm.
Or tundra, or it doesn't
Yeah.
need to be desert, but it's just definitively less
Dry
rainy
place.
in those. Yeah, it's definitely more dry. Yes, but yes, I know a little geography.
We
Geology?
in fair,
Geography.
geology and geography, I think.
Yeah.
Geology is
Drawing
rust.
them out.
I think ecology, maybe.
Ecology is probably the better one, yeah.
At
This
any
is-
rate. Oh, what's up?
This is geography because he's drawing a earth dirt.
Mm-hmm. Adder, meta question: how much would it disrupt your plans if we were to land in a here type area? Because
Oh,
I
not
am
at
trying. Okay, I'm trying to bear in mind the fact that this is on a planetary scale here, and I'm not good at picturing that.
Yeah, imagine this entire like I want to say the US, but like Europe to Russia continent.
Okay, so this is only one of multiple continents, or just one singular continent on an ocean world?
This is probably the large if it is not the only continent, it is the largest continent on this planet.
Okay, that contracts it quite a bit. Thank you. So, I personally think that the area outside the forest by the river sounds ideal.
I do
Yeah.
agree with that.
But we should. I don't know. I don't know if we can, but I think we should have a backup plan. And I think it
Oh,
should be
yes, naturally.
an uninhabited island.
That sounds like a terrible place to set up camp.
It's probably uninhabited because they can't have it habitable.
There's no.
If
No.
something is uninhabited, there is usually a reason for it.
You are.
Alright.
You are assuming that the entire world is filled with people. This does not look like the entire
Cross
world
that
is filled with
bridge
people.
when we get to it.
Mm.
It'll be
Hang on.
fine.
I think I can assuage your worries. Angel, is there any civilization of note on this island?
You're pointing at Antarctica?
Which island?
Over here, subcontinent.
Oh,
whatever it is.
The Icelands.
No, that's
none
Greenland.
found.
What was that?
None found.
It wouldn't be pleasant, but if need be, we can land there. The fact that there's ice there means there are likely glaciers, and we should be able to get fresh water from that.
Scanning
And,
is not fine enough to determine.
Pardon me?
Scanning is not fine enough to determine.
Of course not. We're gonna have to do surveys.
Of
So
course,
essentially, all of these, the ones that you can see here, are like major settlements. They're like large
Big
towns
ass
and
cities.
Yeah,
That's
large
different
towns and
things.
cities. These are like Sandpoint and up level
No.
size places.
Sandpoint is a tiny village.
Sandpoint has a
These
couple
are like-
thousand people, right?
Yeah, but that's a tiny village. I guess it's a settlement, but from the size of these ones, I'm guessing like 5,000 people and up.
Okay, Sandpoint is called a small town, not a tiny village, and has 1,200 people.
Yeah.
Alright, so Sandpoint may or may not show up on this map.
Yeah.
but it is not a tiny village.
Okay. I come from a place with 1,000 people. It's not very big.
Does that satisfy you, Nina, as a backup?
I would rather a warm place.
We have a number of alternatives should the need arise.
Yeah. I
Yeah, and
just
you also
wanna
you have
make-
no idea anything about this place. Like that place could be a perfectly suitable location for you, but the inhabitants of this planet don't deal with cold very well.
I just don't want to put all our eggs in one basket.
Yeah,
Just wanna make
we
sure.
have a number of alternatives, but
Oh,
we
yeah.
shall go down the list as we.
Yeah, look, I don't expect y'all to be like, all right, set down the ship here and start unloading people until like
A
halfway
long
through this
while.
campaign. Yeah, it's gonna be a
Oh,
while.
yeah.
You're gonna have to like
Yeah.
go
Yeah.
down. Because you gotta go down, figure out what a good place is, and then talk to the people that are in charge of the location, and then convince them to give you that land. Along with all the other weird bullshit stories things I have planned for you.
Yes.
Mm,
Also,
It's going to
Hunter,
be a lot of setup.
Hunter,
Nina's
This is also assuming that they have a concept of land ownership, but I'm sorry.
That's
go
also
on.
true.
they will.
Yeah.
I pointed the
They will.
city island.
Yeah, but
Point.
Nina's also going to absolutely fucking ensure that we don't just talk to the people in charge, but also the people nearby.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
no,
100%.
like
Yeah,
obviously we're going to talk to everyone involved.
Because-
We're not just going to go, hey, take us to your.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
That's why there's a lot of setup. You have a lot
Yeah.
of people to talk to and then do things for to make deals
Yeah.
with. Like,
Because
there's
if
a
we
lot
did,
going on.
if we
Okay,
did like say
McFucko-
come down here, we would talk to these people, these people.
No, we're not gonna come down
these
here.
people. No, I'm
We
just
gotta-
saying if we did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Hunter, am I
Yeah,
right to assume we can't just drop into a forest or on top of a mountain with our pod?
Oh, you can.
Is
Okay.
there-
You built the damn thing. Do you
I
trust
wasn't
your
sure
own
if it was
invention?
a fall or a pilot.
Okay.
It's a fall, but you can kind of pilot it.
Because if it's
Falling
just
with
a
style.
fall, we will just fall and crash.
Zero. Imagine this is the size of an American state.
No, I'm aware, but we don't know how thick
They
the
are
forest
plains.
is or how rough the mountains are.
There are plains and clearings. We're gonna look at that to
Yeah,
draw.
there's going to be a lot of setup before we even decide where to
Within
go.
this area, there's a place to drop.
I'm gonna be real with you guys. Although I have plans for where you're going to drop, I don't have plans on where you're gonna set up this civilization. That's entirely up to y'all.
Yeah.
Also,
I
you don't know if there are like. Sorry. Yes.
I think that even if, like, I don't think we should like be thinking about where we set up our civilization now anyway,
Yeah.
because we could have it so that we go to this area and it's just like, okay, this place area is good. Let's go back up and go to another area, see if that area is better, and then talk to multiple people.
Yeah,
decide
yeah,
the
yeah.
best area to set
Yeah.
up a civilization.
That's what Nina wants you to do.
And
Yeah,
the
that's
problem is
what we were doing.
The best land is probably not going to just be given to you.
Oh,
You have to do a lot for
absolutely.
the best land, right? But that's part of what the campaign is. So
The best land is already
Yep.
taken.
yeah, right. Best land available is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You also don't know if they have concepts of like kingdoms or monarchies or whatever. But like you also don't know like the borders of nations, right? There's a lot of places here that could be, territories.
What's your social structure? Are we talking democracy, monarchy?
Hopefully not monarchy.
Exactly, right? You don't know. You're gonna have to find out. So, that being said. Oh wait, I'm sorry. I'm a dum dum.
What's up?
You can play. Hello?
Hello?
Hello.
Are you gonna do me this kindness?
Give it time.
Music, please.
Oh, did it also get erased? Fuck.
Probably.
Take time if you need to re-upload it. Load it or anything, honey. Obviously, the highest population concentration is exactly where you think it is. So we'll have to be mindful of that, no matter how far away we land from it. A civilization that large requires a lot of food and a lot of water, which, if that is a sea, means that they will be receiving imports constantly.
Or, well, no, they definitely will, but they could also be getting their food from the sea, or maybe they don't get the same amount of food and sustenance that other people do. The system, like,
It could be both. They could be
Those are fair
fishing
possibilities.
and farming.
Maybe they don't need food.
I doubt that, but that's not an unreasonable thought.
Could
Well,
also
yes.
be like underground tunnels leading them to other places.
We
Given
You
do
all
can't
know
those
the
make
situation.
speculations about the geology.
Given all those tiny dots around it, though, I feel like it's safe to say that it is probably some sort of naval power.
The middle island.
The
Yeah.
middle island.
Someone said those sure do look like flowers.
Yeah, those.
Oh,
I
yeah.
did say that those
Man,
are
those sure
some
do look
big
like
ass
flowers.
flowers.
Yeah, they
didn't
sure do
zoom
look
in
like
close
big
enough to see
flowers.
Okay, while you all talk about this, I'm gonna go get the pod ready.
Good idea.
I'm done talking.
Well,
We can
I've made my
speculate
claim
all
for
we
where
like until we actually.
I've made my
Exactly.
claim for where I'd prefer to land. I will get some as well.
Anthony,
Yes, hello.
while
yes.
I'm getting this ready, can you begin setup on the long-range what's the word?
Transmission?
Transmission machine. You and Angel will be leading patrol from up here. I need your support.
Yes. We need you
Oh.
on communications.
Can't believe we didn't fix the pod yet.
No, I made it. It's done.
Oh, go back in your pod.
No, not that.
Different.
We need him
Different
to
pod.
actually on radio.
No, we don't.
I think it will be helpful if he's on radio.
I agree.
Oh,
You
Also,
cannot expect.
I
As
feel like
much
it would
as-
be a bad idea to not have a able-bodied person on the ship.
As much as having Angel to do everything, it is a lot easier when you have more hands.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when those hands are physical.
There it is. There it is.
New world, who dis?
You all do this.
Eshe will do exactly as she said she would.
Yep.
She will
Gonna go prepare.
She will go and put on her armor, which she might be using heavier armor now, given that I think we'll be leveling up shortly. And over her armor, she puts on a lovely gray gown. Something not far from a sundress, but with shorts rather than straps. She ties colorful ribbons up in her dreads, and she carefully applies makeup to her eyes before she walks out of the room without her weapon and into the next room with it and heads towards the pod.
Yeah.
Fortunately, I can't wear my suit over my armor, so it's just gonna go under it.
Just have
Yes, you
bullshit
can.
armor like I do.
I do
Yeah.
wish that I had my motorcycle done at this point. However, we'll be able to come back for it.
Okay, get ready for this. I'm gonna get ready. Alright, I'm ready.
And you're ready.
And Nina gathers her tools. And
Sorry, one.
Nina gathers her tools, secures the top, leaves a note leaves 5 more notes.
Actually,
Goes
we'll
and
make-
fetches Hasta.
Oh, he's
Ah, yes,
already
just-
in the pod.
You see?
Okay, I figured.
Arrives in the pod.
Real quick, out
Oh,
of character
dang it.
talk, do we just let him go?
Yep.
That's my instinct. Eshe is going to actually, in the pod, say in Necro, Hester,
Behave.
He like looks at you.
I mean, I'd like you to stay if you want to.
She will translate what Dive just said, and she said, I am not going to try and hold a debt over you, and I'm not asking for repayment, but if you wish to honor the life that I let you feed on, then be cautious with this new world. Don't overfeed. Don't abuse the inhabitants.
If you ruin this for us, I'm gonna fucking kill you.
She will also translate that.
Be good. And this is our first mistake in introducing an invasive species onto a new
Yeah,
world.
that's what I'm worried about.
I was literally thinking the same
Okay,
thing.
out of character, do you want me just to kill him? I have like a few sons. I'll just kill him.
No.
We're
No.
not killing him. We will kill him later when he becomes
Yes.
a problem.
Look, it's in
Exactly.
character for us.
I'm just saying, ruin this, and I will hunt you down and bring you to the sun.
It's fine. In 5 more levels, we'll face a massive... Sorry, in 10 more levels, we'll face a massive of shadows that have killed an entire civilization.
We can't.
Yes, we can.
No, that's not what I mean.
This will also be beneficial for you. Living in harmony with the environment means you are less likely to be smoked. Does this make sense to you?
I nod.
I like how he's like, ugh.
Very well.
Sure, Mom.
And that is all of the conversation Eshe will have with Hester.
Dive hugs Hester if she can.
It was nice meeting you.
I'll end you.
She'll still translate for the others, but that's... Oh, and you?
This is not what he said, but yeah.
Oh,
You will-
sorry.
He will hug back. You know what? Make me a diplomacy check.
Oh my god.
I feel so... Wow. Diplomacy checks for giving a hug. Diplomacy. Oh,
You might think you're trying to suplex him.
I will.
Yeah.
You hug him. He hugs you.
Yes.
Before Nina goes, she sets a secret action.
This isn't the JoJo game, honey.
So?
Hello?
Hello.
Hello. Look, all I'm saying is Hanu's like, if we need to come kill your ass, I'm not gonna be nice to you.
Yeah. I think Azza got the message.
Yeah.
Hanu's doing the eyes at you thing.
Eshe is like a stern mom. Hanu is like a murderous uncle.
Hanu pulls out his shotgun.
Yeah, Haru's like a murderous uncle. Eshe is like a concerned mother. Dive is like a younger sister. And we're acting like Haster's going off to college or something.
Nina
Amazing.
did check that all the all the people were accounted for.
Yep.
The ship.
Same.
They better be.
Right?
All aboard that's going aboard.
Sorry, what was that?
All the people were accounted for.
All
Still
the
alive.
All
good.
accounted for. All the people are
Okay.
accounted for.
So I will just say, we just did sort of assume that Haster would leave. We haven't actually asked him if Haster wants to leave.
Oh yeah, that's a good question.
He's not gonna answer you.
Will he
Esther's
answer?
in the pod. Esther can come back if Esther wants to come back.
Yeah, Hester's in the pod. He's ready to go.
Yeah?
Uh-huh.
They have their own life, and they'll do with it what they will.
Except if it
Yeah.
ruins our life, I'll end theirs.
Yes,
It's like
I think
releasing
you've made
releasing a
that
bug
clear.
back into the backyard. You today, me tomorrow. in your hour of need, I shall return.
It's like that.
Meanwhile,
meme from
in the
2000
background, Hanu has a shotgun.
It's that Rage comic from 2007 with the spider with the sniper rifle.
Yeah. Anyway, y'all want to drop?
Yep.
Yep.
Sure. I mean, we detect a good place to drop.
I
Like a
believe
field.
that we'll be dropping in a here type area.
We will drop wherever
That
the
I-
Hatter has a map for.
No,
That's
that's hundreds of miles away. We'll drop.
okay. Yeah,
right
but
here.
that's okay.
We drop where Hatter has a map of.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, we drop here. Or here.
Somewhere in the vicinity of that white circle.
Yeah.
Right. So,
Eno right next to him.
hold on. I'm so sorry.
You're good. A yawn happens.
The fuck is going on? I no longer have access to the Hatter's shit file. What the fuck?
It's been flushed.
What? I didn't do anything.
Whatever. I'll deal with it later. Cause I totally forgot to do a thing, and I'm so sorry, and I was hoping no one would call me out until right now.
It's okay, honey. I know exactly how that feels.
Why do you do this to me?
Because the world is a cruel thing.
Isn't it? So, anyway, you get into the pod. The fuck is his name? Anthony waves you off. Waves you goodbye as you begin.
Eshe will wave to him as well.
Bye.
Bye.
As
Waving-
after
he's
we're
waving you
out
goodbye.
of the pod, he just looks up. And Miss Angel, was that a shadow demon?
You know what? You know what? Hold the fuck up.
Just he's smiling, smile slowly fades. What the fuck?
What the fuck was that?
Eshe did tell him that Haster existed at the very least.
Why did they have a shadow with them?
Yeah, we told him of Haster's existence. We didn't tell him what
So, yeah.
Haster was.
Yeah, correct. Anyway, so you begin to you all like suited in. You got the bars over you. You're all buckled up, ready to go. And there's a sudden feeling of weightlessness as the gravity of the ship. You leave the gravity of the ship.
A certain feeling of what?
Weightlessness. Even more weightlessness for you, Dive, as you begin to fall, and it's a weird sensation of like you are weightless, but the thing you're in is moving, and then slowly you get to feel that like sensation of weight being added back to you. and then the pod begins to shake.
Eshe grabs a hold of. I imagine we're all strapped in.
Correct.
Eshe grabs hold of a handhold and places her other hand on the shoulder of whoever's nearest to her.
Oh.
Everything just played at once.
Yeah, I'm sorry. And the whole pod begins to shake violently. I don't have a good music for oh god, things are happening. Yes. The whole pod begins to shake. And for a brief moment, Hanu, you begin to question your craftsmanship.
He doesn't say anything out loud.
It's like, oh god, I hope I'm as good as I think I am. The whole ship begins to
I
shake.
better be as good as I think I am.
You have a brief moment to try and pilot this pod a little bit. Make me a secret piloting check.
Okay, can I do something real quick?
What would that be?
As part of one of my dedications,
Yes.
there's a thing I am allowed to do.
Yes.
Vehicle mechanic.
Yes.
You can spend 1 week of downtime with a new vehicle to designate it as your signature vehicle.
Yeah, you can do that. Totally, 100% do that.
This is my signature vehicle.
Yep.
I
Roll.
thought your bike was your signature vehicle.
Its bike's not
You
done
don't
yet.
have the bike, yeah.
I can change it whenever I want.
I see.
And because of that, I'm going to make a piloting check. Private blind GM. Signature. Fuck me, I can't spell. Blind GM. If I didn't roll good, I'll re-roll it.
Alright. You begin to pilot this ship. Dear God, you are traveling so fucking fast.
This is what I was talking about, the fucking trees!
The whole thing is shaking. And there's no window on this thing, so you don't know how close you are to the planet. When suddenly, you hit something, and I need you to all make me a fortitude saving throw.
I fucking told you!
As we fall, as we rock through the air, Eshe's hand is gripping onto whoever's shoulder is closest to hers, and anyone who looks at her could see that she's lifted her mask off of her face.
I think I'm gonna re-roll that with a hero point.
Don't. Oh, okay, yeah, you can do that.
She's lifted her mask off of her face so that no expression is on it.
That's a lot better.
Nice. Alright.
I'm gonna pretend like I lived.
Alright, I need everyone to make new characters. No, I'm kidding.
God damn it!
It's time for Sir Percival the Sniff!
Yeah! Or
The
the
fifth.
second, depending. No, you... So you, crash, and bits of the pod on the inside begin to...
Oh, honey, we
come
don't need to
off.
worry about the trees or the mountains. I don't need to worry about that.
This was gonna happen. Begins to come off, and flying in every direction.
You're so silly. Why
and
would we ever hit anything?
and you're going to hit something. Sort the fucking planet. Sort the fuck out.
This is Hanu. This isn't character.
Yeah. The things inside the pod are beginning to bounce around, and
I'll kill you.
from the G-force, the impact, and things bouncing around inside the pod. You all wake up one by one in a cramped, dark space of the pod. Ellen, I need you to move over to the drop zone.
I can't.
Why?
I don't have it.
That might be because you're a janitor.
No, I'm Ellen.
Reactivate the map again.
I can't reactivate the map once it's activated. Hold on, I have to deactivate another map, drag everyone over to that one, and then drag everyone over back to the drop zone.
Sorry, dear.
There we go.
Sorry.
There we go.
I reloaded it. I mean,
And who rolled the highest? Oh,
Dive is by far the first to wake up.
Dive. You wake up. You're the first to wake up. And if what do you do?
I think you might
How
want to
is
switch
everyone-
songs now.
How's people around her looking?
Everyone's unconscious.
Does anyone look like they're dying?
No, they're just unconscious.
Okay.
They took a nasty
one-
bump to the head.
Nina.
And this is a fiction unconscious, so you don't have brain damage.
Nina looks
Probably.
like she's dying, but she isn't.
Well, is Hasta already gone?
You don't see Hasta.
Hmm. I guess she'll just cast detect magic around herself.
Alright.
If everyone looks like they're okay, I was gonna heal, but if no one looks like they're hurt,
They're hurt in the way that would make them unconscious, but not like lost HP hurt.
I see. Yeah, so she's just gonna detect magic around her, and she's just gonna like move out from where she was.
Right. You move out, pop the top of the pod, the entrance to the pod, and it goes flying off.
The hatch.
And the hatch, thank you, words. And you.
You mean the hatch's barrel?
Fuck you.
The barrel lid.
You know what? Okay, everyone but you gets the level up.
Fair enough.
You find the pod having made its way into a small crater of its own creation, smoking,
Oh, she was right. It was minimal.
but still whole.
Oh god, how are we gonna get this out the hole? What time? Of
And
Shovel.
oh, it's what? You can choose the time of day it was when you land.
night.
Night. Oh yeah, it's just the middle of the night.
I think we
Oh,
would have
lighting
picked night.
conditions.
I think we would have picked a place that was under night so that Hastur wouldn't have to be trapped in the
Right.
thing for a while.
Yeah. All
I'm
right.
glad. I'm upset that y'all thought about this. I thought about this and didn't say something on purpose.
How to make it night.
No, shut up.
Okay.
So with that, in the smoking,
Crater.
in the smoking crater that you look to the night sky, the scattering of stars, and you think you can make out the little blip of light that might be the Night Monarch. And that's what we're going to call the session.
Dive
Alright.
lays down on the top of the drop pod, touching down for the first time in a long time, observing the night sky for the first time in her life.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Everyone can level.
Yeah!
Thank
Let's
you
go level
all.
3.
Thank you all so much for playing with me. Thank you Zero for streaming, and thank you Hatter for GMing. I'm so excited.
Hey,
If I wanted to be
everyone.
funny, Ellen, I would have had you field and somehow crash pad and made
Everyone-
Stuckle.
everyone get the bags and the signs. We are gonna make a pattern in a corner.
Just checking. Is everyone fine with me buying some heavy armor with ship funds?
That wouldn't really be the case. It would be crafted. There is no ship funds.
Well, yes, but I mean...
Yeah, but yes.
Yes.
It's fine.
If Hatter lets it happen, then yes.
Yes.
Real quick, did you do
can
your...
sell your old armor for...
I'm not thinking that it was crafted, I'm thinking that it was already packed.
That's right.
Hatter.
Hatter, have you done your doobly-doos?
No, let me do the doobly-doos.
Right.
Thank you all so much for joining us. It's been wonderful to have all of you, all the strangers. No one's actually watching. That's okay. Yasha Boo Boo may still be here. I don't think. I'm gonna raid someone real quick.
They will in the future with their time machine.
Oh, you're right. I should do them. Alrighty. Thank you all so much for joining us. The new faces, the old faces, the friends and the strangers that are yet to become our friends. Thank you all so much. And those in the future with the time machines, thank you as well. And until next time, don't forget to spread the weird. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Don't go out just yet. Actually, Zero.
You're
But
lucky I have
wanna-
the ability to hold myself.
Yeah. Okay. Now you can do it. Sorry, I have to raid first before going off.
Good thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Stream off?
Yeah, stream off.